so I don't really need to read it to you. I am not a slide reader, by the way, so you guys should have a notebook and a pen handy because a lot of the stuff that you're going to be learning today is going to be just me talking. This is live. This is not a replay of any other call that we've ever done, so it's all new stuff. The slides are going to be similar if you've seen any of these calls before, but like I said, I don't teach off slides, so a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about is just me talking. So you might want to have a notebook and a pen handy, and that's it. All right, so what we're going to be talking about today is how to build a $10,000 per month business in under 30 days by giving away a free service that you do not have to even sell or provide. So we're going to be going over exactly how I add recurring revenue to my business. That was the biggest question that we got inside of the breakthrough, even though I created a whole video on how to do it. It was like 45 minutes long, I think. Still, we had a lot of questions on like what the tool was and software was and all that stuff that we use. And we're going to dive real deep into how we do that and how we put that all together today. Part 2 of the training, this is the email campaign I was just talking about before. This is going to help you with that. Whoever asked that question, the part 2 is really going to help you with that. So I'm going to show you exactly how I close up to 80% of the prospects that I talk to on the very first call. Now, one of the warnings I always say here is that I do ask people to challenge me on everything that I say and do. So if you think this is not possible, when this comes up, I want you to raise your hand. And if you feel comfortable, I want you to actually come on the microphone with me live in front of the audience. And I want you to challenge me on it. And I will overcome whatever objection that you have. And the reason why is because I sell every day. I'm on the phone every day. And I hear the stuff that you're saying over and over and over again. You tell me you don't have the money for something. I've heard that 10,000 times, at least minimum. I mean, I've been cold calling since I'm 15 years old. So that's 22 years. You tell me that you got to talk to your wife or your husband first. I've heard that thousands of times. You tell me it doesn't matter what it is. I can overcome any objection in the world because number one, I've been selling forever. And number two, I do it every day. So I always tell people when you say, no, this is not possible, I want you to raise your hand and I want you to challenge me. You don't have to, but I'd like you to. And it'll be fun and the audience will get a lot out of it. And I think you'll get a lot out of it as well. So here's some of the results recently that we've seen from using the software and the tools that we're going to be talking about today on this call. So before we get started with that, though, I do have a quick question for you. And this is something that I kind of want you to think about as we go through the entire call. So when providing services, quote unquote, to businesses, there's only one result that they're really after. And the question that I have for you is, what do you think that is? All right. So when you're providing services, whether it's SEO, web design, Facebook ads, you're, standing in the street dressed like a clown, holding a sign, whatever it is, doesn't matter. There's only one reason they're doing that. Okay. What is that reason? What is that result that they're after? And I'm actually going to, I don't normally do this, but since I'm sitting at my desk, I'm going to take a look at some of the answers that come in. So Jonathan says leads, more customers. Dan says, am I still on mute? No, I'm not. Everyone else is hearing me. Customers, leads. Okay. So the answer to that question very simply is money. All right. One other person said something interesting too. What's in it for me? What is the result? Customers. Yeah. A couple of people saying money as well. So yeah, the only result that they're after is money. So when you go to sell SEO to somebody, the only reason why they buy the SEO from you is because they believe the SEO is going to make them more money. Okay, this is something that we really need to all get on board with here. We have to really grasp this concept. Okay, when you sell SEO to someone, the only reason why they buy the SEO is because they believe it's going to make them more money. When you sell web design, the only reason why they buy a new website is because they believe it's going to bring them more money. The only reason why they buy Facebook ads is because they believe it's going to make them more money. That's it. Okay, so what that means is, write this down, very important. What that means is when you go in to sell something to somebody, okay, whether it be a plumber or a landscaper or a roofer or a driveway guy or whatever, and let's say it's SEO. If you go in there and you start talking about the Panda and the Penguin update and that you need to have HTTPS on your thing because it's a secure thing and the certificate and everything else, they don't know what the hell you're talking about and you lose the deal that way, okay? I sell SEO all the time, and I could never explain it to anybody. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I know that it ranks websites higher, but I don't know how it works. I don't know anything about it. But what I do know is that when I walk into a plumber's office to sell SEO, I can look him dead in the eye, and I could say, listen, you fix broken pipes and toilets and things like that. That's your profession, right? Yes. Okay, good. My profession is bringing you more broken pipes and toilets. How we do that doesn't matter. The bottom line is you're going to have more people to serve. And as long as I bring them to you and you do your job, we're going to love each other forever. Does that sound fair? That's an SEO pitch for me. Okay. Now, most people will say, oh, well, you got to explain this. You have to have the right logo and you got to have images and they do videos. So I don't know any of that stuff and I don't care. And neither does the plumber. Okay. So the bottom line is we have to get right to the result that they're after. There's no reason to start talking about any of the other stuff because all it does is confuse people and it kills the deal for you. So if I were to show you a way where you can give away a free service that you don't have to provide and you got paid $97 per month for every time somebody signs up and it got them the exact result that they were looking for, how many would you give away? So again, I'll ask you, if I could show you a way where you can give away a free service that you didn't have to provide and you got paid $97 per month every time somebody signed up, how many would you give away? I'm going to look at some of the answers here. Type that in the chat box. Let me know. The recording is going in and out. You're the only one saying that. So I'm pretty sure it's okay as of right now. Unlimited, as many as I could. What happens if they ask what service you provide? It doesn't matter, Tone. It doesn't matter what service you provide. How many are there? There are hundreds of millions. Mark says unlimited. John says 50,000. One a day. Frank, okay, that's not bad. I like it. I had a guy tell me one time, he's like 10. I'm like, dude, what are you a moron? Leave. Seriously. If you're going to say 10, leave. One a day is good. 50,000 is good. Unlimited is good. That's really the answer, right? The answer is as many as I can. The answer is I'm going to do whatever I got to do to give away as many as I possibly can. Because, again, I'm going to get paid $97 a month every time somebody signs up. And I don't really got to do anything for it, right? I got somebody else providing the service for me. I got somebody else selling the deal for me. I'm getting paid $97 a month every time someone signs up. So I'm going to give it away as much as I possibly can. So my promise to you over the next hour or so is you'll know exactly how to get a minimum of 10 new quote unquote free service clients per week that pay you $97 per month without having to personally sell anything to anybody or provide any services ever. So again, without you having to personally sell anything or provide any services, I'm teach you how to get 10 new clients a week paying you $97 a month right here on this call. So if you stay to the end, you're going to get the exact sales presentation that I use to provide high ticket services for over $10,000 per month. That's going to be covered in part number 2. So let's go quickly over what is the free service method. So first of all, it's based on results instead of time. I built an entire company on filling up a calendar, and that was a huge mistake. Maybe a ton of money, but it also killed all my time. So I'd go out and I'm going to explain this, go through the process with you here in a second to show you what not to do. But the bottom line was I went out there and I prospected like crazy and I closed deals, and that was all based on me giving them advice. And what I found out was, after doing that for like 8 years, what I found out was my calendar is, like a finite thing. Like it's not unlimited, right? And if I'm going to sell something, I need to sell something that I can just keep selling over and over and over again. So you can scale it out, right? That's like the definition of scale. Scale is control. If you can't control how many you can sell, then you got a problem. So basically what ended up happening was my calendar got filled up and I couldn't do it anymore. So I had to switch to a results-based platform, which is what we do now. And it works really, really well. And my time is completely freed up. I was actually out last night from 8 o'clock at night till 2 o'clock in the morning fishing. And I do that like 3 nights a week now, 4 nights a week. And sometimes I go in the morning. I was out on my boat the other day. Like I can pretty much do whatever I want. And I'm not, listen, it's not sit on a beach with a martini with, naked women around. That's not what I'm saying, right? What I am saying, though, is that if you could build something that's results-based, where you can work 4 or 5 hours, hard work, 4 or 5 hours a day, where you're busting yourself and you're really working hard for 4 or 5 hours a day. I think there's an ambulance going by. And then you have the rest of the day for free and you're making a decent living. That's a pretty good way of doing things, right? As opposed to getting up at 8 in the morning and then having to consult with people literally until 9 o'clock at night. Hour phone calls with people talking about sales funnels all day. That's a freaking nightmare. So you make a ton of money that way, but the problem is that you have no free time to use the money that you make. Creates instant time freedom, which is kind of what I just went over. Builds an asset that grows in value over time. If you're somebody who is building the personal brand, that's great, and you can listen to the Gary Vee show all day long, but the bottom line is you die, your company dies with you, right? Listen, as much as I love this guy, and I hate to say this, it's true. Tony Robbins dies, there is no Unleash the Power Within. I mean, there's just not. There's no Unleash the Power Within seminar without him on the stage. There's no Date with Destiny without him on the stage. Dave Ramsey, same thing. Without him on the stage, there's no way, he can't go from church to church to church selling his books if he's dead, right? So we have to build something that's bigger than ourselves. And that's what this does. It also creates instant time freedom. And no matter instant cash flow as well. And we're going to go more into that as well. If something's not profitable from day number one, you got to get out. And we'll talk about that more in depth. No matter who you are, what you've done in the past, you can do this. It's as simple as giving away something for free to a qualified prospect. And that's pretty much it. You have to fill out like a 10-line form and then you're done. That's pretty much all you got to do. So that's me and my aunt there at a casino. I should have updated this picture because if any of you are following me on Facebook or friends with me on Facebook, I know a lot of you are. You probably saw the live stream I did the other day, 2 days ago, I think it was, of me and my aunt back at that same casino with my mom and a couple of our friends. And she was just left, went back. She's here for Mother's Day every year, and she'll be back for 4th of July, which is awesome. All right, so one of the top sales and negotiation specialists in the world, me, not my aunt. I always say that because I think it's hysterical. Started my career at some of the infamous stock firms here on Long Island. If you watch some of the recent movie that came out a couple years back, I started at that firm. I was only there for a short period of time. Didn't get licensed there, thank God. But I was really young and I was just a cold caller back then. But ended up getting my Series 7 63 and then a Series 24 later on, which is basically like a middle manager type thing. And worked through that business for a while. Negotiated everything from international trade deals to legal settlements and exits. A lot of the clients that I have are attorneys. And a lot of times they will bring me in to try to negotiate a deal with, between two parties or whatever. Not as legal advice, but try to help the attorneys come to some sort of settlement. And also when people sell their businesses, a lot of times they'll come to me to try to negotiate that deal as well. Started my consulting company here in New York in 2007. Since then, I worked with Hyundai USA, pretty much every major car brand out there. The Fords, Toyotas, and Nissans, and places like that. Kia, Hyundai, obviously Honda. The dealerships, though, not the main company. I work with different dealerships all across the United States. Subway restaurants, Geico Auto Insurance, trained a lot of their salespeople. I had many small to medium-sized businesses as well. Work with some of the top internet marketers in the world. I write a lot of copy that you guys see online, write a lot of the emails that you guys get in your inbox, write a lot of the VSLs that you guys see, a lot of the webinars that you guys see. And the most important thing on this slide is I sell stuff every single day. I am old school business building sales guy. That's what I do. And that's, we're going to be talking a little bit about that. Not a lot about it here, but we're going to be talking a little bit about that and why it's so important. That's kind of what I was alluding to in the beginning there, right? Like when we were talking about the niches and stuff, and I kind of went off on a little bit of a tangent there, but I don't follow the new age, like Facebook ad person who has a webinar out with the Harley Davidson in their rented condo in Manhattan. I don't follow those guys. Like it's stupid to me. If you make $1 million a year and you spend 300,000 of that on a Ferrari, you're an idiot. I mean, just do the math. You're giving 300,000 to the government, or probably more than that, 400,000 to the government, and you're giving 300,000 to a car dealership on a depreciating asset. You're leaving yourself with what, 300 grand left after you pay everything, and 30% of your income's on a car. You're a moron. I don't follow those people. I follow old school people that have proven business models over literally centuries. So Carnegie, Ford, Rockefeller, people like that, Trump, Bloomberg. And I could go on and on and on. Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, people like that. The giants in industries that have literally turned around and changed the way that we live forever. So I sell stuff every day. And the reason why I got started in selling is because all those people were salespeople. It's not that I just said, I want to sell stuff. It was just, I was reading books about those guys, all of the people, and people that are even unrelated to business. Martin Luther King, the Kennedys, a lot of different people, and they were all great influencers. And I said to myself very early on when I was 12, 13, 14 years old, I said, listen, if I want to be something important in the world, I have to learn how to influence other people. And that's what I started to do. After doing this for 9 years, you have to be able to add it to any business and use it to start a new one. So any training that I have ever done or any kind of product that I've ever had or service that I've ever sold to anybody or businesses or whatever. It has to be both of these things. That you have to be able to use it to start something new from scratch, and you also have to be able to add it to the back end of any business that you have. The free service method is the only way, in my opinion, to provide offline services to local businesses today. It's become very, very, very difficult to go out there and sell the $3,000 package or the $5,000 package or the $10,000 package. You have to really have a lot of sales skill to do that. And it takes the sales cycle is very, very long. The longest I've ever had was 2 years. I didn't close that deal. The longest I've ever had where I actually ended up closing the deal was 8 months. So it takes a very long time to do that. With the free service method, I can literally close the deal in under a minute. And I'm going to show you how to do that coming up in the next couple slides. So you can sell it without having to personally sell anything to anybody ever. We went over that in the first slide, and we'll dive deeper into that as we go through this. You're never attached to the business. You create a sellable asset. So I discovered this the hard way, and I'm going to go over the hard way here in a second because it does work. I want you guys to know what it is, and we're going to try to avoid that as much as we possibly can. And you guys are just going to get all of the good stuff. So I'm going to teach you what the hard way is so you understand it. Number one, you can avoid it. Number two, if you ever wanted to use portions of it, you could, because it does work. But we're going to try to cut as much of that out as we possibly can so that you guys just get the easy stuff. So the hard way is you prospect like crazy. And that's going to stay true. Okay, that's going to stay true no matter what business you are in. Listen, I'm not here to tell you everything's going to be okay. I'm not here to tell you everything's going to be easy. I'm not here to tell you everything's going to be what you want it to be. Okay. It's not easy. Business is not easy. It's hard. It's really hard. And a lot of times you're going to be doing stuff that you don't like to do. But the bottom line is that you have to prospect. You have to get in front of people that you don't know, but you do know need what you have. They can afford it and they can make a decision. No matter what you do, you got to do that. Okay. Doesn't have to be cold calling. That's what I do because I'm a phone guy. That's just how I was trained. But there's a number of different ways. And I actually, with this type of offer that we're talking about here, the breakthrough type thing, right? I don't really believe that the phone is the best way to do it. I think that emailing is the best way to do it because people have to see it in order to get it. If they don't see it, they don't get it. Now, I still call for it because I'm a phone guy, but it's a combination of calling and emailing. And we went through that in the training when we do the appointment, propaganda, and then we close the deal at the end of it. So you're still going to have to do that, but it doesn't have to necessarily be cold calling. Sales process the hard way could take up to 8 months. I was talking about that a couple of minutes ago, where the longest deal that I've ever closed took 8 months in my consulting business. And then I also was working on Borders Books before they went out of business. And I worked on them for 2 years, and then they ended up going out of business before I can get the deal done. So that was a deal I didn't close. That was the longest deal I've ever been involved in my life, and it was a freaking nightmare. It was fun, but it was a little bit of a headache. And the longest deal that I ever took to actually close was 8 months. Spend 8 to 10 hours a day on calls with clients. I sell it. I do the consultation calls. I do all the support email. I literally had zero free time, and I eventually ran out of room on my calendar. But again, what you have to understand is that the hard way works, but people are just unwilling to do it. If I told you that, chain you to a desk, and I threaten your life or something, I'm going to poison you if you don't do this, right? And I gave you a stack of 1,000 leads, and I gave you a piece of paper that I wrote myself. And I said, you're going to read this piece of paper to these 1,000 people, and you're not going to stop until all the 1,000 people are done. If you did that, you would make a crap ton of money. There's just no doubt about it. I don't care what your excuse is. Oh, I got this disability. I'm in a wheelchair. I'm 95 years old. I bought the guy's WSO last week and it didn't work, so I can't do it. There is no excuse in the world, okay? If I gave you 1,000 qualified prospects and I gave you a piece of paper that I wrote and I said, you're going to read this paper to these 1,000 people and you're not going to stop until every person in this stack of leads is touched, you will make a ton of money. But the problem is I can't legally chain you to a desk, threaten to poison you, and make you do that. I can't. Right? So if you're not willing to do that, well, then there's no sense in really even talking about it, right? It does work. You can't say it doesn't work. People say that all the time. Cold calling doesn't work. No, you're just, number one, a moron, and number two, you're too weak to do it. Just admit that, right? So it does work. But if people are unwilling to do it, then there's no real reason to even go into it. You will be attached to your desk 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Theoretically, not really 24/7, but you'll be attached to your desk 10 to 12 hours a day doing it. And that is a little bit of a pain. You want to create time freedom. That doesn't mean, though, that when you start a business, you shouldn't be at your desk for 12 hours a day for the first 6 months or so. I'm not saying you're going to have to do that here, but what I am saying is that when you do a startup and when you're brand new, it's not necessarily a bad thing to hustle a little bit in the beginning, and then you kind of tail that off as you get deeper into it, right? And again, you don't have to do that, but you grow quicker. The more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it, and the quicker you're going to, the quicker you're going to get the result you want. And again, like I said before, what if you drop dead? If you're the person who's doing the selling, if you're doing the consultation calls, if you're doing the service providing, if you're doing the email support, if you're doing everything that's involved in a business, prospect, pitch, close, provide, preserve, those 5 things. If you're doing all 5 of those things and you're the only one and it's your personal brand, quote unquote, what happens if that person behind the personal brand drops dead? Whether that's literal or like a figurative thing, right? What if you actually die? You have a big problem. What if you just say, you know what? I cannot stand this anymore. I'm not doing it. It's over. Got to do something else. Well, that business is essentially dead. Okay. And I realized that recently, last October was the end of it really, but started off probably about a year ago or so, where I was transitioning all of my consulting clients that were paying me, some of them up to $10,000 a month to consult with them. I was transitioning them all into a results-based business where I didn't have to meet with them all the time. The only reason why I had to literally travel around the country to get all these people to switch over is because I couldn't sell that business. If I could sell that business, I would have sold it for 10, 15, 20 million dollars and okay, whatever, fine, move on, right? Do something else. But the bottom line is I couldn't do that because I was the business. Now, if I were to sell that business, I would have to go along with it. And there's no point in doing that, right? I'd rather just keep it myself. So if you want the easy way that doesn't require you to sell anything or provide any services and creates time freedom in the process, put one in the chat box because that's what we're going to be talking about for the rest of this training today. If you want the easy way that doesn't require you to sell anything or provide any services and creates time and financial freedom in the process, put one in the chat box. Results are not typical, but I am going to walk you through the entire process and show you how to get clients and do all that stuff. But the bottom line is you guys aren't typical people. This is kind of always what I say here. It's 11 a.m. on a Monday morning, right? Eastern. I know a lot of you from the UK. That's why we're doing this encore here for you guys. But it's 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Monday morning. A lot of us typical people are not sitting here listening to me on a webinar. Typical people are at their 9-to-5 job doing something stupid and getting somebody else rich. Or you're out, if you're off today, you're out doing something fun, right? You're not out here listening to me talk. I have a very good friend of mine who is actually in my yard right now, who is a very typical person who took the day off to get some stuff done with his boat. He brought his boat here to fix it because I got a lot of tools. I own a boat and I got a lot of tools and stuff like that. So he brought it here to fix it up and do stuff like that. He's a typical dude, right? He took off and he's working on his boat. You guys are not typical because you might have taken off today and you're here watching this. You may be sitting in your office today saying, screw that guy. I'm going to watch this because this is what's going to make me more money. Forget the boss. Now, that's a little unethical, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. I mean, you got to benefit yourself, right? So yes, results are not typical, but I don't believe that we are typical people either. So the 3 rules. Number 1, I can make more money in a day giving away results than I can in a month selling anything else. That creates financial freedom, or what we call income freedom here with the breakthrough method. Rule number 2, I don't have to personally be involved in the business at all if I don't want to be. That creates time freedom. And rule number 3, I only need 10 or so leads per week to make 5 figures per month. Rule number 1, I can make more money in a day giving away results. We talked about this in the beginning. Than I can in a month selling anything else. That creates financial or income freedom. There's my aunt again. She literally just left like 20 minutes before we started this. She was here for Mother's Day. That was her first Islander game. We took her to the Barclays Center. We got, that's us in our suite there, me and my sisters. And we took her to her first Islander game. She was 90 years old. First game she ever went to. And she actually just went to one of my games on, I think it was Friday night or Saturday night. For the first time ever as well. That's me and my daughter in our apartment in LA, and then that's us flying somewhere. And we're actually going back there pretty soon, a couple weeks. Okay, so the question here is, which one would you choose? And I want you to look at this as if you don't know anything about either business. You've never been in the area before. It's brand new to you, and you want Chinese food, right? Like whatever it is, you just have this thing that you need Chinese food, and you've never been in the area before. You don't know where you're going. You're in a new place. It's, you don't know Wild Rice. You don't know King Chef. The answer is, which one would you pick out of these two? I'm going to take a little pause here, and I want to see some of these answers. So which one of those would you choose? Let me hop back in here and take a look. So which one would it be? Would it be Wild Rice or would it be King Chef? Okay, so we have most people saying Wild Rice. Actually, everybody is saying Wild Rice. Okay, there we go. And one person actually, I got to read that because that's really funny. One person said wild lice. It's like a joke that I would make, Alan. And most of the time when I do it, no one would laugh at it. So I think it's hysterical. That's kind of funny. And I may even go in there and call them and say, hey, is this wild lice? And just make fun of them because that's funny. Okay, so wild rice is the obvious answer, right? So the reason why that is, okay, number one is obviously they have more reviews and they have better reviews than King Chef, right? But the real reason why that is because of what we see here, the data that we have here with this survey. So Bright Local, pretty big company, they did a survey in 2017. Basically said 85% of customers trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. That is the bullet point that I focus on 95% of the time when I am selling stuff to these people, okay? Now, obviously, we want to show them. We want to say which one here, right? They're obviously going to choose one with the better reviews. But the bottom line is, if I could show you a way where 85% of the people walking into your business, Mr. Plumber, Mr. Pizza Place owner, whatever, and they're coming into your business as if they were referred by their aunt, their brother, their cousin, their mom, their dad, whatever, do you think your business is going to grow or shrink from that? Let me just say that again so you guys get it, right? I'm talking to the people here on the call today. I walk into a pizza place. I show them, which one would you choose, right? Would you choose the one on the left or one on the right? Just like you guys, they all say the one on the left. Very simple, right? It's not a trick question. It's just which one would you choose? It's very simple. And I say to them, let me ask you a question. If I was able to show you a way where 85% of the people walking into your store were coming in as if they were referred by their aunt, brother, uncle, mother, sister, cousin, whatever, or a friend, do you think your business would grow or get smaller? Okay. That's the wording that I use when I go in to present this to people. Why? Because since I've started in business, literally since I was 15 years old selling cell phones in Brentwood, New York, one of the first things people ask me is, when I was 15, I was selling cell phones. The guy next to me was like, you getting any referrals, man? How you getting referrals? You talking to your family? Like, you sending your aunt here, your brother, whatever? How you getting people? I'm like, nah, man, I'm cold calling people. And then I go into the stock business. How you getting referrals? You going to the Chamber of Commerce? You going to the local meetings? You going? What are you doing? You in clubs? You going to golf? I'm cold calling people. Everybody. Consulting. How do I get referrals? Mortgages. How do I get referrals? Real estate. How do I get referrals? Cars. Referrals. Everybody is asking for personal recommendations. Everybody. Okay, and you guys probably do that too. When you do a business, like, how do you get referrals, right? Because everybody tells you that they're easiest people to close. It's not necessarily true. Your family's the easiest people to close. Referrals are a close second, though. But the bottom line is, I know that the plumber, the roofer, the lawyer, the pizza place, the bakery, whatever, they're looking for personal recommendations and referrals as well. So if I walk in there and I say, hey, if I could show you a way, we're starting today, 85% of your customers that walk through that door will be coming in as if they were referred by a friend or a family member, do you think your business would grow or get smaller? Now, like this question, we know the answer. It's wild rice. Everyone's going to say the same thing. With that question, we also know the answer. What are they going to say? 85% of people are coming in as if they were referred by a friend. Is it going to grow or is it going to shrink? They're going to say, of course it's going to grow. Obviously, it's going to grow, right? So it's very, very simple. All we have to do is show them why they need more reviews, which is what we do here. And we let them pick it. We don't sell it to them. We let them tell us what it is. Then we do the same thing here. We don't sell it to them. We let them tell us what it is. And then we basically just tell them how what if we could bring you from where you are now to where you need to be? So the example here is I'm pitching King Chef, right? And I'm showing King Chef, honestly. I know Mr. Chef, stupid, Mr. King, whatever, right? Whatever the dude's name is. If I'm showing him, I'm saying, listen, honestly, I know there's some bias here because you own one of these companies, but honestly, you don't know the area, you're brand new, and you're dying for some Chinese food. Which one would you choose, right? Forget about for a second that you're the owner of King Chef. Which one would you choose? Well, honestly, it's Wild Rice, right? Let me go through here. If I was able to show you a way where 85% of people that walk through your door came in as if they were referred by a family, friend, whatever, would your business grow or shrink? They answer that question. And then I just tell them, what if I was able to bring you from where you are now, the 3-star rating, to the 4.8-star rating that the other company has, and I'm able to do it for free? Would you at least listen to me? Would you be interested in doing that? Would you like to start that this week or next week? Would you like to start that right now or tomorrow? Well, however the close. And we'll go through all of the specifics on the wording of that. But that's basically exactly how I sell all of this stuff. It's literally that easy, and you could do it in under like a minute. It's so simple to do. And it's also important to point out too that we provide real reviews from real customers. We're not someone who goes in there and like buys stuff from overseas. Like, we never do any of that. Everything that we do is 1,000% on board with Google's customer terms of service. So unlike some people that might be here today watching, we do not sell 2 reviews to you every month for 3 months. We just don't do that because it violates the terms of service to Google. And when somebody's AdWords account manager finds out about that, they might get in a lot of trouble. So we don't do that. We provide real reviews from real customers, and we want to be on board with Google. We want to work as a partner with them. We want to make sure that we're a partner with Google and a partner with the company that we're servicing. And again, at the end of the day, you got to make sure your client's happy. You got to make sure you're providing something that's great. You got to make sure that the client's customer is happy. Like everybody's got to be happy. You got to provide greatness at every level as best as you possibly can. So we do that by providing real reviews from real customers. Now, if all of that is true, and that's how the pitch goes, I want you to honestly try to say no to me. And I'm going to check the chat box, and I want you to just write it in there and tell me what the no would be. So real quick, I walk into King Chef, right? And I'm talking to him. Hey, how you doing? What's up? What's going on? Let me ask you a question. I show him this piece of paper. You know nothing about the places. You know nothing about the area. You're brand new. Obviously, you don't own King Chefs. So, I know you have a little bias, right? But let's just pretend here for a second. You don't know anything about it. You're dying for Chinese food. Which one would you choose? Wild Rice. If I was able to show you a way where 85% of the people walking through that door right now could come in as if they were referred by their aunt, their cousin, their brother, their uncle, their wife, their family member, friend, whatever it is, do you think your business would grow, or do you think your business would get smaller? It would grow. Okay. Well, what if I was able to bring you from the 3-star rating that you're at right now to the 4.5-star rating that you have to be at, and I could do it for free in under 30 days? That's the whole thing. Now, again, we'll provide real reviews from real customers. Say no to that deal. I want to hear what the no is from you guys. Only hurdles local business owners should have clients walking in the first time. Wild Rice. Yeah, so if any of you guys have a no to that, I want you to do that. Okay, so all right, so here we go. We have one. So let's do this one. Robert says, no, we don't have a marketing budget. Okay, so watch this. Ready? Watch this. Watch how this goes. I want to show you real quick. Let me get back to it. So Robert says, no, we don't have a marketing budget. Robert, my fault. I apologize. I take full responsibility for everything that just happened. Maybe I went a little fast for you. Maybe you didn't understand everything that I was saying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the beginning. Let me ask you a question. Which one of these would you choose? Wild Rice, obviously. If I was able to show you a way where 85% of the people that came in through your door were referred, came in as if they were referred to your aunt, brother, cousin, sister, uncle, whatever, you think your business would grow or shrink? Grow. Okay, great. What if I was able to bring you from where you are now to where you need to be in under 30 days, and I could do it completely for free? Maybe you didn't hear that the first time, and I apologize. That's my fault. But what if I was able to do it and it didn't cost you a dime? And then I don't talk. Well, I don't know. We don't have a marketing budget. My fault. Maybe I didn't explain it the second time the right way. Which one would you choose? 85%. What if I was able to bring you from here to here for free? Well, we don't have a marketing budget. Maybe I didn't explain it the right way. So I'm going to keep looping that dude until he's blue in the face, because the bottom line is the marketing budget is not an objection. It's a free offer. Okay. Let's see what else we have. Nothing is for free. What's the catch? Can't be for free. All right. I guess we can get all of those at one time. I'll get them in 1 second. No one offered referrals before. Been offered referrals before and didn't work. Let me take that one first. Okay, Mark. So would you agree that a computer is important to a business? Probably yes, in today's day and age, right? So what computer are you using right now? A MacBook Pro. Okay, good. What's the first computer you ever bought in your life? It was a Compaq 200 in 1999. Okay. Do you still own that? No, I didn't. So why did you get a new one? I got a new one because that computer got really slow and it started to break and it didn't work right. So that was probably a negative experience, right? When you turn a computer on and it starts to like blow up and nothing's working and you got viruses on it, that kind of pisses you off, right? Yeah. Okay, good. So what I want you to do is I don't want you to use the negative experience of the past to affect what's going to go on in the future. I want you to apply the same logic here as you did to your computer. You didn't sit at the Mac store and say, oh, well, I bought that Compaq in 1999 and it didn't work, so I'm never going to buy a computer again and I'm going to stay stuck and I'm going to use cans to communicate with people. You didn't do that because you understood that it's vital to your business. You understand reviews are vital to your business. So I don't want you to go ahead and keep that negativity of the past and let it affect your future decisions. And you can do that with a car. You can do it with anything you want. What's the first car you ever drove? I had an 89 Camaro. Okay, well, did it break down? You still driving it today? No, it broke down. Was that a negative experience? Yeah. Did it affect you from buying a new car? Did you never buy a new car again? You riding a bike today? Or do you have a car? Oh, I have a car. Okay, so obviously you understood that a car was important. You didn't let the breaking down 89 Camaro stop you from buying the new car that you drive now, right? No, apply the same logic here. That's all I'm asking you to do. What's the catch? There is no catch. If you try it for 30 days, if you love it, you love it. If you hate it, we never talk again. Simple as that. All right, let's see if there's any other ones. Robert has a good one. And then we're going to go on from there. I'll move on with the training. But I actually like this. I like that I can interact with you guys a little bit easier today. Sitting down at my studio mic like this is a lot easier. I get that it's free for the first month. What's the cost after 30 days? So, Robert, let me ask you a question. Are you concerned with the cost or are you concerned with the return on investment? Because here's the way that here's an example, okay? If I were to charge you $10,000 for this, you'd probably agree that that would be a lot of money, right, Robert? Yeah, of course, that would be a lot of money. Okay. Well, if I charged you $10,000 for this and you made back 30, would it still be a lot of money, or would it be a pretty good investment? It'd probably be a pretty good investment, right? So the bottom line is I don't really think the cost is much of a concern. It's what we can do for you to bring more money into the business. So the cost can really be whatever it is. The only thing that really matters is, are we making more than we're investing? Would you agree with that? Yes. Okay. So try it for 30 days. See if you like it. If you like it, then we'll discuss it further. If you don't like it, then we'll never talk again. Does that sound fair? Simple as that. All right. And again, guys, I love the challenges and I love that you guys are participating. That's awesome. Most people don't do that. But I'm not bragging. It's just, it is what it is. There's nothing I can't overcome. You can give me any objection you want. All right. So the old way, $3,000 package, sales process lasts months, 10 hours of setup, constant optimization, 2 hours per month of advice time. And the max you could sell is around 5. After that, your calendar is filled up. When I have my consulting company, it's no coincidence that I had 42 total clients. And I only lost 2 clients in 9 years, by the way. 42 total clients, and I had 43 outsourcers working for me. That's not a coincidence. I had a manager, and I had one outsourcer for every single client that I had. And they would do the day-to-day stuff with them. They would answer all their questions through email. They would talk to them on Skype. They got to know each other very, very well. And then I would come in and I would do the 2 hours per month of advice time, 1 hour every other week to just make sure everything was set up right. And we would optimize stuff, go over different headlines and different funnel stuff and all that kind of stuff. So It's a big, big deal. And the bottom line is it's a big deal that you can't sell. And that's a problem. The new way, $97 per month result. And this is recurring too. The $3,000 is recurring as well. $97 is recurring too. So I want to make sure we're transparent on that one. And, they're both recurring revenue things, just not it's just a little bit of a different process. Sales process literally takes minutes. You just saw it. That's the whole entire process that we just went through. 0 hours of setup time. It lasts forever. 0 hours of advice time. I can sell as much as I want. 80% of the people I speak to buy, and the asset grows in value over time. Now, everybody has the same fear that nobody will ever buy a product from you or a service from you for $3,000. And most people will tell you, well, everybody had that fear, right? And you'll be fine. You just got to take action, man. Bottom line, right? You got to act. Can't just sit here and watch a video. You got to act. Can't just sit here and attend a webinar. You got to act. Everybody had that fear. You just got to go out there and do it. I think they're wrong. I think that people probably won't buy a product from you for $3,000. They won't buy a product from me for $3,000. I'll tell you that much. They won't. And if they won't buy a product from me for $3,000, I'm not saying I'm better than you. I'm just saying I've been doing it longer than most of you. If they're not going to buy from me at $3,000, they're probably not going to buy from you at $3,000. But here's the bottom line. Everybody, no matter what the price is, will buy the result. And here's what I mean. It's kind of what I was talking about before when somebody was asking me what the price was of the product after 30 days. Write this down. Very important. As long as you are making more than you're charging your client, you'll have a client for life. They're buying the result. And what is the result? We said it right in the beginning. What is the result they're after? More money. If I'm charging the client $10,000 and I'm bringing in 25, that guy's never leaving. Same thing goes. If I'm charging the client $100 and I'm making them 300, they're never leaving either. Right? So the bottom line is they're buying the result. They're not going to buy the fancy product. They're not going to buy 17 hours of you explaining to them how Google reviews work and why they're so important. And it's quick. Which one would you choose? 85% of people coming in, grow, small. What is it going to do? It's going to grow. Okay, good. If I could do that in 30 days for free, would you at least listen? Would you try it out? Simple as that, right? They're buying the result. They're not buying the thing. And people get stuck on selling the thing as opposed to the result. Chet Holmes, God bless him, he's dead. But Chet, one of the greatest salespersons ever lived. Chet Holmes used to talk about the result, the benefit of the benefit. And that's kind of what I'm talking about here. What's the benefit of the thing what's the benefit of the benefit of the thing? That's what you need to sell, right? So when you're selling a car, don't talk about anti-lock brakes. Talk about you not dying in a car accident, right? When you're selling a house, don't talk about the, how the eggshell paint on the wall is made. Talk about how it's easy to wash or whatever. Like I'm making that up, but whatever it is, right? Talk about the benefit of the benefit. And that's what gets the deal done. Rule number 2, I don't have to personally be involved in the business at all if I don't want to be. That creates time freedom. That's my mom doing yoga on a plane on the left, and my daughter looking at her like she's absolutely nuts. And also, for the first time ever, I'm going to mention this. I've never mentioned this before in a webinar. That is my daughter's bunny, Mimi, who she's had since she was born. My mom bought her that when she was in the hospital when she was born, and she still has it today. Almost 11 years later, 10 years later. And to the right there is the Reagan Library in, I forget the name of the town. I can't believe it, in California. Beautiful, though. Absolutely beautiful. My daughter's middle name is Reagan, so obviously I'm a big fan. But one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to is a huge cross outside, right on the, way out on the mountain. And that was one of his favorite places to go. And the place is just absolutely amazing. If you're ever in that area, Yorba Linda is actually the name of the town. If you're ever in that area or you're ever in LA, it's just north of LA. Beautiful place to go. And that's my daughter with some police officers. Every time my daughter sees a cop, she wants to take a picture with him. My stepfather's a cop, been a cop for a long time. So she just loves police officers. She's always taking pictures with them all over the place. And that's just some places I was going fishing in South Carolina. So I sell all the time because I love it, not because I have to. The bottom line is I have free time to do whatever the hell I want, whenever I want to do it. But I need to stay in the game. And the best hockey players in the world play hockey every day. The best golfers play golf every day. The best painters paint every day. The best singers sing every day. The best, artists draw every day. The best writers write every day. The best salespeople sell stuff every day. You can still learn, and I'm not here to bash anybody. except for maybe one person. But you can still learn from somebody who sold stuff 10 years ago. Like, I'll give you a very good example. A mentor of mine who I have a great amount of respect for, Grant Cardone. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of him before, and I follow him more for his real estate advice than I do his sales advice. But the bottom line is that guy is a very, very good salesperson. With that said, though, he hasn't really done much cold prospecting in the past 10 or 15 years, right? So you could learn a lot from his stuff when it comes to selling stuff, but he's been out of the prospecting game for a very, very long time. And in my opinion, although I have great respect for him, I follow him very closely, more for real estate advice than sales advice, but I do follow him very closely. I met him a couple of times, been to some of his seminars, the big one out in Vegas. And the bottom line is you have to learn from somebody who's doing it now, not someone who did it 10 years ago. Even though the 10 years ago guy could have great advice, and most of the time they do, you have to learn people that are practicing it now in the current environment. That's the only way to learn. So I do it all the time because I have to stay in the game. It's really the answer to that question. You never should have to be selling stuff to anybody. You should be building your business, and the bottom line is you're probably not good enough at it. And if you become the salesperson and the prospector, pitcher, closer, provider, preserver, you become the business. We talked about that over and over and over again earlier. And then there's no exit in the business, and that's a big problem. So the people that we hire in our company, they never cost us money because everybody is connected to revenue in some way, shape, or form. Every single person, write this down as well. Every person that comes into my business, and I suggest you do the same thing with yours, whatever it is that you do. I don't care if you start a painting company, landscaping deal, it doesn't matter. SEO thing or a Google review thing. It doesn't matter. Every single person that comes into your company should be connected to revenue in some way, shape, or form. Everyone that comes into my company is a trained killer on the phone. Everybody from day one. I don't care if you're coming in to do web design. Your first training is sales training. You need to know how to close deals. You're going to be on the phone with a client asking them about their logo design or whatever the hell it is. And if you have an opportunity to close them on something else, you need to be able to jump on that and kill them right then on the call. Okay, so everyone is connected to revenue. And the bottom line is, if you cost me $2,000 a month and you're not bringing in more than $2,000, you're fired. I don't care if I like you, I hate you, it doesn't matter. You're done. Okay, so just like the customers that we have, as long as I am charging them less than what I'm bringing them in, like if I charge them 10 and they're bringing in 25, I have a customer for life. Same thing with an employee. If an employee is costing me 2,000, but they're bringing in 4, I'm going to hire them and I'm going to keep them forever. If an employee is costing me 1,000 and they're bringing in 500, they're done. Okay. So we'll talk about that more as we go along. But the experiment that always fails, lots of leads come in, hire great salespeople. Salespeople do the thing, 0 sales come in. The reason why that is because you have to hire great people and build them into salespeople. We hire great people here, not great salespeople. I want to train my own salespeople up my way. And the bottom line is that there's just a lot of garbage out there. And a lot of people do it differently now. You know, they do the consultative approach, which is complete bullshit, to be honest with you. They do a lot of internet tech stuff where let's do 27 hours on Twitter and there's no reason to cold call because you can find out what football team a guy likes. Nobody cares about that. The bottom line is that you need to know how to sell the right way. And I hire great people and I train them the way that I want them to sell stuff. It's just that simple. So rule number 3, you only need about 10 or so leads per week in order to make this into a 5-figure per month business. So let's go through the process quick and then we're going to do some math. Number 1, we pick a target. Number 2, we give them the service for free. Number 3, you provide nothing ever. Okay, we don't want you to be any kind of provider here. All right, if you do that, you're probably going to screw it up. I'm going to be completely honest with you because here's the deal. If I do providing, God bless the client because they ain't going to last very long. I am not a provider. I don't do that stuff. I don't understand it. I don't know how to do it. So if you ever ask me questions about how to provide the services that we provide, I'm probably going to refer you to somebody else like Scott or somebody else or Jeff, because I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know how to do it. I bring the business in. Okay. I bring the revenue in. I don't provide it. I don't know how. So you shouldn't do that either. You let the service do the selling for you. and then you just take the money from them, and that's it. And they keep paying you over and over and over again. All right, so what I'm going to do is I have to hop on here and try to find. Let's see if this is going to be easy or if this is going to be difficult. I got to go in here and I got to get this calculator up. We're going to do some math here. It's very easy math, so don't freak out about it right now. But we're going to do some math here, and I'm going to show you what the numbers look like if you wanted to build what you want to build. So we're going to go through, like, we'll set a goal for a dollar amount, and then I should have had this open before we started, but that's okay. I'll get it in 1 second. I'm going to set a goal for how much money you want to make, and I'm going to show you how many prospects you need to get in order to reach that goal. And this is something that I require every single one of my employees to do pretty much every day. I just have to see if I can find this, though. Actually, you know what? Let me. All right, you're just gonna have to give me 1 second. I'm looking through a membership area to see if I can find this calculator. I should have had it on my desktop before we started, but I don't. So that's that. And I'm not going to be able to go into my external hard drive to do this. So I got to try to find it on here. Just hang on 1 second. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I had to actually download this thing from my own AWS account, and I have like number in and like all that stuff because I've been hacked before and it's a nightmare. Okay, so basically, this is something that we use in our company here that helps people make their lives a little bit more realistic and make their income projections a little bit more realistic. So let's say you want to make $5,000 a month, right? You want to pay off your mortgage and you want to pay a car payment or 2 or 3 or whatever the 5,000 is for. And let's say your close rate on a paid service is 50%, meaning that you give away 10 trials and 5 of them actually end up staying. And let's say your close rate on the free service is 50%, meaning that you talk to 10 people and 5 of them take you up on the free trial. Okay. This is very, very unlikely, by the way. Most of the time, it's going to be much, much higher than that because the people that we talk to already want, need, and desire what it is that we have. Number one. Number two, they can already afford it. It's a free trial. And number three, we already know they're a decision maker. So you should close about 80% of those people. And again, in part 2, I'm going to go through how to do that. And any one of you can challenge me on that whenever you want. But this is a low number, but let's keep it a little bit realistic. So at $5,000, if you want to make $5,000 a month, you need to talk to 10 people a day for 30 days. Just not 1 month, not 10 people for the rest of your life. 10 people for 30 days. Once you do that, you're done. You get paid $5,000 for the life of the account, right? Or $97 a month for the life of the account, but you're going to have 52 accounts at that point. Okay. for 30 days. You don't have to do it every month. Now, let's say you get crazy and you're like, I'm going to do it for 2 months. Well, then you get 10 grand pretty much forever. Okay. And if you want to do it for 3 months, it's 15. If you want to do it for 4 months, it's 20. Let's say you want to make, let's say your goals are not that big. Let's say you just want to get an extra 1,500 a month. I mean, that changes a lot of lives for a lot of people. You got to talk to 3 people a day for 30 days of your life. I'm not asking for the rest of your life. I'm asking for 30 days. Talk to 3 qualified prospects for 30 days, and you're going to make around $1,500 a month from doing that. Let's say you have, and that's a life change. For a lot of people, that's a big deal, right? And a lot of people, that's a great way to start small and slow. I'm not a big small and slow guy, but let's say you want to just start off, ease the gas pedal down just a little bit and get going. You start off by talking to 3 people, you make $1,500 from that. And then in month 2, maybe you go to 6, maybe you go to 12, maybe you go whatever. You can move up from there. But the bottom line is $1,500 a month. If that was it and it ended there and you made $1,500 a month forever for the life of the account, and all you have to do is talk to 3 people a day for 30 days, that's life-changing for a lot of people. But let's say you want to get really crazy with it. And let's say you want to make 25 grand a month. You got to talk to just 52 people a day for 30 days of your life. $25,000 a month, 52 people a day for 30 days of your life. That's life-changing money. That's top 1% income money in the world. Okay? That's a lot of money. Let's say you want to make $1 million a year. That's not $1 million a year. That's $10 million a year. Let's say you want to make $1 million a year. $83,333.33 is just under $1 million a year. You got to talk to 172 people a day for 30 days. Now, for $1 million a year, just to put this into perspective, when I was selling stock, I was making about $800 a day, every day. When I was selling mortgages, a little bit less, maybe about 500. Okay, so just to put this in, that gives you a little perspective. 172 people a day for 1 month should be around $1 million a year. That should be around 859 accounts when you're all said and done over the course of a year. That should be about $83,333. So let's get back down to this. Let's say $7,500. No, you know what? Let's stick to $10,000 because that's what we talked about in the beginning, right? So a $10,000 a month business inside of 30 days. That was the big headline, right? How to build a $10,000 per month business inside of the next 30 days. Are you willing to talk to, email, Facebook message, Skype message, do the things that we show you how to do to 21 people? Probably take you an hour, less than that probably, for 30 days of your life. Not forever, for 30 days of your life. And then you get paid on that deal for the life of the deal. This is the beauty of recurring revenue right here. You don't have to worry about going out and selling $97 a month products, $97 products forever. You do it one time to 21 people a day for 30 days, and you start off June 1st with 10 grand in your pocket. Start off July 1st, 10 grand in your pocket. Now, some people are going to fall off maybe, right? Maybe you add a couple more, but the bottom line is you're going to be right around that number for the life of the account. It doesn't matter what you do from that point on. Now, again, if you want to get crazy with it and talk to 42 people a month, 42 people for 30 days, that'll give you around 20 grand. Not 200, 20 grand. You talk to 41 people a month, 41 people for 30 days. Are you willing to email 41 people for 30 days of your life to make 20 grand? Are you willing to email 21 people, 21 qualified prospects for 30 days, not for the rest of your life, for 30 days to make 10 grand a month for the life of the account? Right? Now, God forbid you get trained by me and you actually close deals like a person that knows how to sell stuff and you hit real numbers, $10,000 a month, you got to talk to 8 people a day at 80%. And that's kind of what I see. So if you can get to somewhere near my level, right? Even a little bit lower than that, let's say you're at 65% here and 65% there, talk to 12 people a day. Right? Let's say you are the worst salesperson in the world. You're giving away something for free. You're the worst salesperson ever. And 30% of people who want what it is that you have, they already want it. They already know they want it. Okay? And I'm going to explain that in a little bit. They already know they want it. They already know they need it. They already know they desire it. They can afford it. And they have the authority to say yes or no. They already know all those things. Okay. You talk to 57 of those people a day at 30%, you're giving away something for free. 30% makes you $10,000 a month, and it pays you forever. You got to do it one time. So the worst salesperson in the world, you're terrified of it, you're mumbling your words, you don't know what to say. 57 people a day pays you 10 grand a month. All right. Now, again, that's for the life of the account, but our accounts don't leave, and we'll talk about that in a second. This is all really cool. We developed this internally here I didn't do any of it. Some outsourcers that we hired did it. But basically what this is, everyone is required in my company to do this, and it gives them their daily call sheet right here. So it tells them exactly what their job is to do for that day. Because I'm not a Facebook guy. I'm not a Twitter guy. I own a Facebook ad agency, but I'm not a guy that wants to do Facebook posting and, type info below if you like. That's bullshit. It's a waste of time. So I tell my employees, listen, your only job is to contact 57 people today. When you're done with that, leave. Or contact more if you want to go crazy with it. But the bottom line is that's what I require of you. That's it. If you could do that in an hour, then you're done. You go home. Or if you can do that in 8 hours, then waste time and spend 8 hours here. But you could do it in an hour if you really wanted to. And that's it. And then you just date it and sign it. And that's the way it works. And then we also have our call tracking sheet here, which kind of just keeps track of what we do every day. But this is a really cool thing that we developed. And again, it makes it realistic to you, because I think a lot of people sit here and they're like, man, 50 grand a month is a lot. Like, that's a big deal, right? But then you look at it and you say 286 people. Now, again, that may be a lot of people to you, but study what stockbrokers used to do. Study what mortgage brokers do. Study what high volume telemarketers do. And a lot of people are like, oh, the telemarketer thing. I made millions of dollars. You call me whatever you want. I've made millions of dollars over the telephone. A lot of money. Okay. So the bottom line is 286 people. It's not a lot of people for 50 grand a month. And you only have to do it one time. $10,000 a month, 120 grand a year. Probably gets most of you. Can't type today. Probably gets most of you out of the job that you're in right now at the worst numbers possible, 57 people a day. If you get up to 50%, which every single one of you should be, if you're giving away something for free, it's 21 people. If you can't contact, and listen to me, I'm being completely honest with you, okay? If you are not willing to contact 21 people a day to build your business, you probably should leave this call. I don't know what you're looking for. Leave the call and go play the scratch off tickets or whatever. Like leave the call and go slip in Walmart and sue them. Like you're never going to be able to build anything if you are not willing to reach out and touch 21 qualified prospects a day for 30 days, for 1 month. I'm not asking you to do it forever. I'm asking you to do it for 1 month. And if you're not willing to do that to build your business, you're not willing to do what it takes to be in business. I mean, this is what you got to do. All right. It's not playing around on Facebook. It's not renting a Ferrari for a day to shoot a sales video. It's not doing a house tour that's listed on Zillow. That's not how you build businesses. You build businesses by getting in front of prospects that want, need, and desire what it is you're offering. They can afford it, and they have the authority to say yes or no. That's how you do it. If you could do that 21 times a day for 30 days, you're going to make a ton of money. All right. Relatively speaking. That's just the way it is. All right. Any questions on that? You guys can shout them out. I'm going to switch back to my slides here. By the way, whoever just asked that. Just make sure real quick that we don't have any questions on that. Okay, I had one or two people saying that the spreadsheet wasn't showing. It's just a very basic spreadsheet that shows you how much what kind of work you got to do to get the result that you want to get. All right, so money replenishes itself. Every single person in here, okay, no matter what you do, money's going to come back to you, no matter what. If you live in the Western world, maybe listen, if there's one or two people in here that live in like Kenya or something, this might not be true. But for most people, if you live in Western society, money is everywhere. It's everywhere, okay? And it always comes back. No matter what happens, the money that you have right now, if you lose it all, it will come back to you. And I'm not saying some kind of like weird, The Secret thing. I'm talking about like the government is begging to give you money, whether it's food stamps or a place to live or free college education or free healthcare or free this and free that or free cars or whatever. Subsidies for this, subsidies for that. They're always trying to give you more. And that's if you're dead broke. If you have a job that you work 9 to 5, well, then your paycheck comes on Friday, next Friday, or 2 weeks, depending on how often you get paid. That paycheck's going to come back again. It's not going to go away. It doesn't disappear. So if you make $2,000 on a Friday and then you get paid the next Friday, you're going to get $2,000 again, right? We can all agree on that. So that money is always going to come back. It's not like it just vanishes. It always comes back over and over and over again. So I think you can agree that we've been here for about an hour or so. I think you can agree that the time that we spent together was well worth it. Obviously, we can't cover everything in an hour-long webinar. Even if I had a day with you to set this all up, that would be impossible as well. So what we've done is put together a special offer so that you can get everything that you need to know. But before we go into that, I just want to talk about something that I think is vital to your success. And I want you guys to write this down and really understand what I'm going through here. And that is, don't fall back on old habits. So the make money online trap that every single person watching this and talking into a microphone here, me included, has fallen into this. And it's a big, big problem. So here's how it goes. Number one, you buy a product, a system, a method, or whatever, underground ninja thing, right? You watch the training and you feel like you're doing something because you're filling out forms, or you're buying a domain, or you're getting an autoresponder, or whatever, right? As much as I love Tony Robbins, he is a master at getting people to do this. So you'll buy his training program and then you'll be filling out like checklists and goal sheets and everything until your fingers fall off. You do that because you feel like you're doing something, right? Now, there are some training programs where you have to write stuff down and you have to fill out forms and you have to do checklists and stuff like that. And that actually is useful. But for the most part, people do that to make you feel like you're doing something and getting somewhere and taking action when really all you're doing is running around in circles. You spend days or weeks setting it up, and you move on to something else. How many people, by a show of hands, or just type 1 in the chat box, how many people would say that they've been through this before? And there's only 2 types of people in here. Either you're typing 1 in the chat box, or you're lying to us all. Because you've all been here. I've been here. Everyone that I've ever known has been. I mean, think about like a gym, right? You go into the gym, you spend 2 days going to the sporting goods store, getting all the workout gear and the shoes and everything else. And you go there once or twice and then you're like, oh, okay, this sucks. And you move on to something else, right? Everybody has been. I'm going to look in the chat box real quick. Type if you've been in the make money online trap. Yeah, see, everyone's saying so many times 111 for years. For years. Malik, how do you find qualified prospects? I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. So many times. Okay. The reason why you're there, watch this, ready? Is because you're not making any money. You're not seeing the result. Think about this. Let's get away from money for a second, even though we're here to talk about business. If you signed up for a gym on a Tuesday, you got your little card, you got your little sticker for the back window, whatever, and you walk in there, and by Thursday you lost 20 pounds. Would you come back? Yeah, of course, everybody would, right? In business, if you're not profitable instantly, leave. There's nothing there for you. Okay? I went fishing last night. Drove my truck on the beach, got to a spot, looked good, outer bar, breaking, deep water, good cutter right on the front of the beach, lip, everything's set up, ready to go. Made a cast. Nothing. Made another cast. Nothing. Made another cast. Nothing. Moved 10 feet down the beach. Made another cast. Nothing. Another cast. Nothing. Another cast. Nothing. 10 feet down the beach. Cast, cast, cast. 10 feet down the beach. Cast, cast. Why am I doing that? If I'm not hitting them right away, I'm out. I'm moving. There's nothing there for me, right? Same thing applies to business. Same thing applies to everything else. If you are not getting the result that you want right away, you should move on. The whole thing about not wanting instant gratification is bullshit. I'm sorry, it is, okay? Now, I am not saying, and I don't want to misrepresent this at all, I am not saying that you should expect to make millions of dollars in 3 hours. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying, though, is that if you've been doing something, take this as an example. If you've been trying to give away a free thing, and you're actually doing it, right? You're not just sitting watching webinars. You're actually doing it. You're actually out there prospecting and trying to give away a $97 a month Google review package. And you've been doing that to 500 people. And everyone said no to you. And you can't give one away. You need to leave. It's a bad deal. It's the deal. Something's wrong with it. It's either the process is wrong, the offer is wrong. Something is wrong. Okay. Now I'd tell you to leave after 20 of them, but it's up to you. Same thing goes for anything. If you're out there doing Facebook ads and you're running an offer and you run an offer and you spend $100 and 2,000 people see that offer and you have 5 people that opted in, you probably need to cut the offer off and do something else because it ain't worth your time. All right. If you're starting a landscaping company and you're knocking on everyone's door in your area and all of them are saying, I'm not getting my lawn cut by you, it's probably not a good place to start a landscaping company. Leave, do something else. Okay. If it's not working, change your approach. If it's not working, change your approach. Firm on the outcome, flexible on the approach. We know where we want to go, but we're going to take a number of different paths to get there. I'm going to be flexible on how we do get there because we understand that the reason why we fall into this trap is because the result that we want is income, and filling out forms, buying domain names, and setting up autoresponders does not provide us income. So we get pissed off and we get the next shiny object thing that comes in our inbox, which I probably wrote the email for. So we have to start making money and go from buyer to seller. From buyer to seller. And that's where you start making money. You got to switch teams. You must spend at least 90% of your time on revenue generating activities. And if you have to justify this for more than like 30 seconds, you're lying to yourself. Meaning that spending 3 hours on Facebook posting messages on your Facebook page that has 5 followers is not revenue generating activity. It's just not. It's just not. Researching a prospect on LinkedIn for 3 hours before you contact them is not a revenue generating activity. It's a waste of time. Just call the guy. Just meet him. Just send him an email. Whatever it is. There's no reason for you to do that. So you have to spend at least 90% of your time on revenue generating activities. So what we're going to be getting today is 6 weeks of intensive training with me. It's $2,000 value. Quick start series, clients in 24 hours. We want you, again, profitable right away. The second you start, you should be making money, getting free trials in, selling the document, doing what we teach in the breakthrough, combining the two together, building that recurring revenue in. That's the quick start series, client in 24 hours, $500 value right there. Hire and training your salespeople, $1,000 value, call center script so you can hire other people to do this for you. Total value, $4,488. Who this works for? Entrepreneurs and business owners. Obviously, if you sell anything, this is the best sales training you are ever going to get in your life. Promise you that, okay? You are never going to find anybody that does it like me and as good as I am. And then listen, I'm only good at certain things. 1 or 2 or 3 things in my entire life. I'm good. I'm a very good fisherman. I'm a very good hockey player and a very good hockey coach as well. And I can sell stuff. I suck at literally everything else. Okay. So like, it is what it is. I take my bragging when I can. You want to see me paint walls in a house? You'll probably throw up on yourself. I can't do that. I can't fix cars. I can't nail wood together. I can't do any of that stuff. Can't cut my own lawn, hire someone to do it. So the bottom line is, you're never going to get sales training like you will here. And that's why I'm able to say to you at the end here, when we go into part number 2, if you want to open up your microphone, you want to challenge me, you can challenge me on anything I say. Any objection that you have, I will be able to overcome it. Okay. Digital information sales is a great way to put a back end to your offer. You need a front end, back end. We went through that in the breakthrough, 3 layers of a business. You have prospects, you have a front end, you have a back end. This is a great way to add a back end to that. Obviously, if you're an offline marketer, if you're a consultant, if you provide any kind of offline services, if you are not heavily focused on reviews for your clients, then you're doing them a major disservice, in my opinion. All right. So you have to be focused on, there has to be a process for getting reviews for every small business on planet Earth. If there's not, they have a problem. And the problem is just going to get worse and worse and worse as we get deeper into it. So if you're an offline marketer, you have to add a review process to your business. And like I said before, if you currently sell anything, because, obviously we talk about Google reviews here and we talk about the software that we use and we talk about the document and stuff like that. And we have a number of different ways to get in front of prospects and everything else. But the bottom line is the product doesn't matter. The product doesn't matter. The process is what matters. I sell houses and cars and books and CDs and videos and whatever. It's all the same thing. It doesn't matter. I teach people how to sell all that stuff. Right? I wrote a script. It's the hardest script I ever wrote in my life, by the way. But I wrote a script for little tiny O-rings that went in vacuum cleaners. The process was exactly the same as selling mortgages, stocks, cars, consulting, Google reviews, Facebook ads, little tiny O-rings. It's the same exact thing. And I'm going to teach you the process in part number 2 coming up. So we had 2 choices. We can go as cheap as possible and try to sell it on volume, or on option number 2 requires a little bit more investment, but it gives you all the resources that virtually guarantee your success. So you're probably thinking to yourself, I can't provide any services. And you're right. And I promised you before that you're not going to have to provide any services, right? So the tool that we use to get reviews for our clients has never lost a paying client ever. And bonus number 1 is we are going to fulfill every deal for you. That is limited to the first 10 people. It's $2,000 value. And again, the tool that we use to get reviews for our clients has never lost a paying client. So when I tell you on that calculator, 21 people, 10 grand, I'm going to pay you pretty much forever for the life of the account, right? Well, the life of the account in our business is we don't lose clients. I mean, once they become a paying client, they don't leave because our system is awesome. So, you do it once and it pays you forever. And that's kind of what I was talking about before. So bonus number 1, we are going to fulfill every single deal for you. All you're going to have to do, your only job literally is to fill out a 10 form sheet of paper. It's an onboarding form. You get the person, they want the trial. You fill out information like business name, first name, last name, phone number, whatever, logo. You got to link the logo in the bottom. Click submit. And my people take over from that point on. And that's it. You never talk to that person again. They pay you $97 a month forever, and you're good to go. This is limited to the first 10 people, though. So you have to get in early for this one. We got like 250 people here. The other thing I said was you don't have to sell anything, right? Well, I taught you how to sell it here in the beginning by using the wild rice example, but we're going to close every deal for you as well. So we have done for you sales, done for you fulfillment. It's a $2,000 value limited to the first 10 people. Done for you sales, done for you fulfillment. And as you saw with the results that we showed before, my salespeople know how to close deals better than any people on the planet Earth. I don't care who it is, what they've done. It doesn't matter. Okay. My people know how to close deals better than anyone in the world. So you're going to fill out an onboarding form. From that point on, my salespeople and my fulfillment team will take over with that client, sell them the deal, get the stuff set it all up for them, do an onboarding thing for them. It's all going to be taken care of by my people. And again, the process that we use has never lost a client. So once they become a client of ours, they're gone. The other thing too, I should point out too, even though we're fulfilling the deal for you and we are closing the deal for you, the people that you close are still your clients. So you can sell them whatever you want. We don't we don't try to steal the client from you or anything like that. It's always going to be your client. And there are going to be opportunities for upsells later on. If we decide to upsell them something, you will always get paid on that deal. That client is yours forever. But I'm going to be very honest with you. If I have somebody on the telephone and it's your client and I have the opportunity to sell that person a $5,000 SEO package, I am not going to call for your permission to do that. I'm going to close that deal and I'm going to pay you a lot of money for that deal. And you're going to get paid every month on that deal. So for as long as they stay, obviously. So yeah, there's a lot of chances for upsells and stuff like that down the line, but just know that it's always your person. And there's going to be ways for you to track that. And we have places you can log in to look at all that stuff. So it's always going to be your client forever. So the bottom line is your job is literally just to say yes to this offer, give away as many free trials as you possibly can, let my sales team and fulfillment team do their job and collect the money. So what you're getting, again, 6 weeks of intensive training with me, $2,000 value, clients in advance, clients in 24 hours. We have to make sure that we are profitable from day number one. It's a $500 value. Hiring and training your salespeople, appointment machine. I'm going to teach you the best in the world way to get appointments that not only stick, but buy from you. I sell this currently right now for $1,000 on, it's actually not on my website, but I sell it to individuals for $1,000, and for companies, it's more than that. It depends on how many salespeople I have to actually train. But basically, this process here allows you to walk into an appointment and say, did you get what I sent you? Did you like it? And you want to start now or you want to start next week? Okay. When my people show up to an appointment, they don't sell anything. They just ask for the money and the people just give the money because of what we do between the time we book the appointment and the time we show up. Okay. And that's what appointment machine teaches you how to do. So you're going to get that for free as well. Bonus number 1, we fulfill every deal for you. It's $2,000 value. It's limited to the first 10 people. We close every deal for you. That's another $2,000 value. That is limited also to the first 10 people. Total value, $8,482. If all this did was get you 10 people at $97 per month, would it be worth it? $970 for the rest of your life per month, would it be worth it? If all it did was smack you in the face to keep you on track, would it be worth it? If all it did was get you away from the job you're currently working, I would advise against that, by the way. Don't quit your job. Don't quit your job until you're like 3 or 4 times what you're making. If you make 50 grand a year and you're making 200 grand a year here, quit your job. If you're making 50 grand a year and you're making 50 grand here, keep both incomes coming in. Keep those 2 flows of income coming. All right. You always need more, as many flows as you possibly can get. But some people want to leave their job right away. It's all up to you. If it allowed you to stop being chained to your desk. So let me ask you this. Let's say you just gave away 10 free trials and you just stopped. That would be kind of dumb, first of all, to be honest with you. That would be kind of stupid. But let's say you did that. That would be $970 per month for life. And you saw that we've never lost a paying client. So pretty much for the life of the account, right? Would it be worth it? If you think it'll be worth it, put 1 in the chat box. Would it be worth it to pay us $970 to close and provide that deal for you, those deals for you? So you get paid $970 per month forever for the life of the account, and you have to pay us $970 one time to do that. Would that be worth it? You give us $970 and we give you $970 per month for the life of the account. If you think that's worth it, if that makes sense, put 1 in the chat box right now. Now, obviously, if you do the math on that, after month 1, everything is pure profit, right? Because you're giving us $970 for the first month. You're getting back $970 for the 10 accounts. And after that, you get $970 per month forever. So you're in the green after month number 1. So if you think that makes sense to do that, type 1 in the chat box. I'm going to take a quick look in here and see what you guys are. Yeah, everyone's saying 1. Of course it does, because the math just works, right? It's a no-brainer. I hate that term, but it is. So that's why it's a great deal at $970, and that's why so many business owners want to work with us. So general public price, we launched this on Facebook for the first, to the general public, it's going to be $2,000. For the first week of that launch, it's going to be $997 product. If you take advantage of this offer on this webinar today, 12:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on May 14th. Yes, this is live. A lot of people are asking me that. I don't know why. I never do automated webinars, so I don't know why people always ask that. But whatever. I guess a lot of people do them. You're going to save $500 on this webinar. You have to promise to share your case study with us, though. We have a lot of case studies. If you go to the page here, I'm going to show you in a second. There's a lot of case studies on there. You have to be able to share that case study with us. We take that very seriously. A lot of people will just say that, oh, give me testimonial, I'll give you money off. We actually ask you for it, so be prepared. You don't have to do a video all the time, but we like to do video if possible. So when you're successful with this, that's all we ask. And if you're willing to do that, we're willing to give you $500 off. So you can get started today for $497, kennycanexsuccess.com/discount. And I am also going to put this little guy up here as well. You can click the button. There we go. Beautiful. You can click the button. I know it says start tonight at the bottom, but we usually do these at night. This is a special webinar just for my friends over in the UK. There's a lot of people from the United States over here as well, but I did this for the people that were asking for it overseas. So yeah, it says tonight, but it's really today. And then it's just $97 per month after 60 days. First 60 days are completely for free, so you don't have to worry about that. And we close and fulfill 10 accounts for you for the $97. And then you can get, some people won't tell you this. Some people will completely mislead you on this, but I'm going to be completely honest with you and upfront. That number is never going to change no matter what. So if you want 100 accounts, it's not going to be $97 for the first 10 and then $4,000 for the next 10. It's going to be, some people do that. It's going to be $97 for the first 10 and then $97 for the second 10 and then $97 for the third 10. And the 4,000th 10, no matter how many you buy, it's going to be $97 per month for those 10 accounts. And every 10 accounts you have, if you sell them at $97 a piece, is worth $970 for you. Unlike some people out there, we don't raise our prices the more you buy. We actually might even lower them in the future for the more that you buy. So we like people that are successful. This model right here that you're seeing is built for you to be successful. It's not built for you to fail. We want you to actually be successful. So the deeper you get into it, the more you're going to get out of it. So number one, we're never going to raise our prices on that $97 number. And you don't have to worry about it for the first 60 days anyway, but we're never going to raise our prices on that $97 number. And there is a chance that as you get bigger, if you want to get, 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 accounts, there's a chance that that number may decrease. I can't promise anything. I can't promise it'll never go up, but I can't promise it will decrease. But it depends. We'll see how we can work that out later on. So $497, you can go to kennycannonsuccess.com/discount, or you click the button on the side of the screen. $97 per month after 60 days. First 60 days are free. We close and fulfill 10 accounts for you. Our salespeople and fulfillment team do that for you. All right. So I'm going to load a video here. This is going to be a freaking nightmare. Every single time I do this, I screw it up. Do I do loans? I don't do Eileen, Ellen. I don't know what your name is. I don't do loans. I don't even know what that means. All right. So I'm going to do these videos for you real quick. This is Scott, and I'm going to play this video for you. Dude goes into a massage place with his girlfriend, walks out with 50.
Hello, my name is Scott Powell. I have a little story I'd like to tell you. My girlfriend decided one day she'd like to get a massage, so she and I got in the trusty truck and went by one of the larger massage chain places, and had a great experience. When I left, I decided to take a look at what their Google review ratings look like, and it was a 2.9, and we had a 5 experience. And trust me, guys, you get a lot of brownie points taking your girlfriend to get a massage. Really recommend that. So we decided to go by. I called the owner up, asked if we could come by and talk about helping them with their Google reviews. Well, it turns out there was a group of them together, 15, in a marketing co-op together. And we went over and talked to them. And on the way, I decided, or before when I was preparing, I decided to talk to Kenny Cannon, the person I admire and respect a great deal. And I said, well, how should I present this? And he said, just get 2 pieces of paper, one that showed a great company with a 4.5-star rating and one that had a 1.2. And so when we went in to talk to the massage people, I just laid those pieces of paper on the table and said, which ones would you use? They're on the 30-day trial. In 30 years of selling, it's about the easiest thing I've ever done. I would highly recommend be teachable. If you will follow what Kenny says to do, I see no way that anybody can fail. Take care. Have a great.
Okay, so that's Scott. Scott's freaking awesome. You guys are going to meet him. Not today because he's at a meeting. He's actually out there closing deals today for our members and himself as well. So, yeah, you're not going to meet him today, but you'll meet him in the Facebook group that we have going on as well. And then we have Kevin, who shut some deals down on his very first.
Hey guys, it's Kevin from Philly. Just wanted to give you a quick shout out with regards to the Done For You program. I was actually chatting with a friend in another local group talking about a Done For You system. Decided to jump in, got my first client on board within the first day, got them set up within 24 hours. It's pretty amazing. I can't wait to see what else comes down the pipe here with the system. But definitely check this out. I can't recommend it enough, just to have the work completely fulfilled for me, and the fact that I can just go out and basically give the service away free for 30 days, wow the customer, and then come back and say, look at what we've done. I think we need to continue and just collect checks. So thank you for hooking this up. I look forward to working with you. And again, if you're watching this, definitely give it a try.
All right, so those guys are awesome, and there's plenty more where that came from. If you click the button on the side of the screen, there we have a lot of other case studies and testimonials and stuff. And again, as long as you guys are willing to do your own case study when you're successful with this. And there's also plenty more on the Facebook group as well. If you get in there, there's tons of them in there. You'll be able to get that $500 discount. So everybody has the money to do this. That's why we priced it at the price that we have it at. Everybody has disposable income. It's just a matter of how you're going to use it. You know, are you going to continue to think like the 99%, or are you going to think like a 1%er? Are you going to invest it in something that's going to change your life forever? Or are you going to be, quite frankly, an idiot and buy a 50-inch screen TV like a moron? That's a depreciating asset that's never going to make you any money in your life. Are you going to go out there and buy a brand new car every 2 years just to show it off to your friends? Or are you going to spend that money on something that's going to change your life forever? This or something else. It doesn't have to be this. It could be anything. But 1%ers, we invest. 99%ers spend. There's a big difference. That's why when you watch CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, your local news, whatever, they'll say, oh, we need a tax break for the middle class because that boosts the economy. Why? Because they spend money. That's why they're broke. They spend, and the rich people just save it all. They keep it all. They invest it all. They don't put it back. They don't buy TVs. They don't buy, the new iPhone every 6 months. They don't buy all that stuff. They invest it and they keep it and they hoard it. That's why we're rich. And then 99% are broke. So it's a mindset issue. You have to change the way that you look at that, right? You have to change the way at where you put your money. Are you going to put it in something, whether it's this or something else, are you going to put it in something that's going to change your life forever? Or are you going to put it into something that's, 100% is going to lose you money, like a TV, like a car, like shoes, like clothes, like going out to dinner, like all that. I mean, that's all a waste of time. You guys have probably seen live streams from me. You guys probably have heard my story over and over and over again. I drive a Jeep Wrangler. I mean, it's a nice truck. There's a lot of cool stuff on it. Bigger tires. It's got a lift. It's got all this crazy stuff on it. It's a fishing truck. But I wear a t-shirt and basketball shorts every day. I buy my sneakers at Walmart. $10. They're $10 a piece. I go in and I'll buy like 5 pair and I'll have them for the whole year. And I just throw them out when I'm done. Like I wear them for a couple months, throw them out. And I buy five of them at a time, size 10. They're white. And that's all I wear all the time. I have one suit and I never wear it ever. I have one sport jacket. I rarely wear it. So I'm a cheap guy. I really am. But the bottom line is I'm cheap because I know my numbers, right? I can go out and I could spend $5,000 on a suit, but I could go out and take that $5,000 and put it into a Facebook ad campaign and get 30 back. Why am I buying the $5,000 suit? I can go out and I can spend $3,000 on a TV set that's going to look amazing in my house. But I could take that $3,000 and I could put it into a Facebook ad campaign, or I can hire a personal trainer or a personal coach, or I can go to, I was talking about Grant Cardone before. I can go to the 10X Growth Con in Vegas and get a great seat or whatever. I could take that money and use it in something that's going to change my life forever and connect me with people that I'm going to be making money with for the rest of my life. Whatever it is, I could take that money and put it in a place that's going to affect me forever. Or I can put it into a depreciating asset, like a car or something like that. Okay, so you have to make sure that your mindset is in the right place and you're thinking like the 1% think as opposed to the 99%. You could do Bitcoin, right? When I first wrote these slides, this was the big thing. My whole entire Facebook feed was covered with, the Bitcoin multi-level marketing thing and the Bitcoin this and the Bitcoin training program and the Bitcoin book. And then all of a sudden, like James Altucher doesn't have the Bitcoin book anymore. All of a sudden, Tai Lopez isn't doing Bitcoin. Like all of a sudden it's gone. When it crashes, it's gone. That's what I'm talking about when it comes to, the shiny object, hit or miss, underground, secret, gone today, here today, gone tomorrow thing. You have to do something that's proven over and over. And I'm not saying cryptocurrency is a bad thing. I don't even want to get into it. The bottom line is I made a ton of money in Ethereum. But my point is that you have to get into something that is proven to work over and over and over and over again. And the bottom line is with this, $97 per month, and you get that for free for the first 30 days. But $97 per month turns into $970 over and over and over and over again. How does that happen? $97 a month gets you 10 accounts. My salespeople close those 10 accounts for you. My fulfillment team fulfills the service for you forever. We do that forever, the life of the account. And you get all of the money. We don't take a percentage of it. You get all of the money. So again, it's free for the first 60 days, but after 60 days, it's $97 per month for 10 accounts, which equal $970. It's very simple math. You put in 97, you get out 970. You put in 97, you get out 970. So the only question that you should be asking yourself right now is how many $97 chunks can I buy? That's the only question that you should ask. When you're presented with a deal like this, okay, fine. 97 equals 970. How many times can I spend $97? That's all I want to know, right? And the same thing I said before, I own a Facebook ad agency, pretty big one. The only thing that I'm asking myself, if I have a campaign that I'm putting in $5 and getting back $20, the only thing I'm asking myself is how many $5 can I spend, right? How much can I scale out that audience, right? Is kind of like the technical term to use. How can I scale that audience? Same thing holds true here. How many times can I invest $97 if I know that it's going to turn into 970 every time I do that? Right? That's really the only question that you should be asking yourself. Because our program is so freaking amazing, and it is. I hate to brag, but it's really good. We have a double your money back guarantee. I don't know any other platform or program or service that offers this for you. And this is also because our salespeople, my salespeople are going to be closing deals for you. My fulfillment team is going to be fulfilling it for you. If you were doing the selling and closing and you were doing the fulfillment, we wouldn't have this. But because my people are doing it, I hate to be a jerk, but I trust them. I train them myself. I don't know you, right? I don't know what the hell you're going to do. So because we're doing everything for you, you follow along with the training, give away 10 free trials. And if you don't at least make back $970 per month in return, we will double the amount that you spent on the program. We'll give it back to you. So worst case scenario, you spend $500 on the program today to get in, and you get $1,000 back. Worst case scenario. Okay, that's like the worst. You give away 10 trials and you don't make at least $970 per month back, you get $1,000 back from us. Double your money back guarantee. That's how much we believe in what we're doing. That's how much I believe in my salespeople, my fulfillment team, the people that I train and I work with every single day. Because they're doing it all for you, we're able to offer this because we know it works. We know it works. All you have to do is fill out the onboarding form. It's as simple as that. And my people take it from that point on. We also have a 30-day money-back guarantee. For any reason at all you're unhappy in the first 30 days, just let us know. We'll give you 100% of your money back. And all of the processing is done through Stripe, so you're protected by them and your credit card company as well. Money is replaceable. Time is not. Flashback or rewind back to when I'm 15 years old. If I had $100,000 in my pocket and somebody said to me, you could skip the next 20 years of your life in learning and you can know everything right now for $100,000, I give them the money right away. I had no teenage years. I had no quote unquote, I didn't go to college, but I dropped out of high school actually. But I didn't go to college. I didn't have any teenage years. I didn't have my 20s were spent in a suit and a tie, driving a Porsche to a stock brokerage firm, acting like an idiot, making a ton of money. That's what my 20s were. I didn't have fun. I didn't go out to clubs. I didn't go out with friends. I didn't do any of that stuff. None of it. I never drank. I never did drugs. I never did it. Anything that all the college kids, I smoked pot like twice in my whole life. That's it. I've never been drunk ever. All my friends were out there, were partying, they were going to clubs, they were doing all. If I could have that time, I would gladly take it. Because that's an experience I think everybody should go through. But the bottom line is the money can be made at any time. It's not that hard to make money. It's really not. It's hard to keep it sometimes, but it's not that hard to make it. But the time is gone forever. So look at my life now over the past 10 years or so. I was here for my daughter's first step. I've never missed anything at a school function. I'm at every single thing, right? I go to her softball games. I coach her hockey team and 2 other hockey teams as well that she's not on. I coach 10 and under, which she's on, 12 and under and 14 and under teams at my local rink. I run a hockey clinic myself completely for free. I volunteer all of my time. Tuesdays at 4:15 to 5:15 at my local rink, and Thursdays from 4:15 to 5:15 at my local rink. I was able to go on Sunday, on Mother's Day. We had nothing to do in the morning. We had a lot to do in the afternoon, but I was able to do a clinic for the kids at 10:40, 11:40, and 12:40 for the 3 age groups. I'm able to do that stuff. And I'm not saying people work on Mother's Day, but what I'm saying is I'm able to do all of that stuff because I understand that money can be made at any time. But if I miss my daughter's first step, if I miss my daughter's first goal in ice hockey, if I miss my daughter's first hit in softball, if I miss, just working with the kids that I work with, if I miss that time now, I'm never going to be able to replace all of that, ever. But the money's always replaceable, right? So if you can trade the money for time, that's the spot you want to be in. You never want to trade time for money, but if you could trade money for time, that's where you want to be. Money is the most important thing in the world. People will argue with me about that till they're blue in the face, mostly broke people, but they will argue with me about that all the time. Oh, love and oh, this and that. Bottom line, money is the most important thing in the world because it buys time. And all the other stuff that goes on in your life requires time. I can't fish 4 nights a week if I don't have time. I can't coach hockey 3 teams if I don't have time. I can't go to all of my daughter's stuff if I don't have time. Right? I can't. I just can't do it. I'm the only dad dropping off and picking up every day. I'm the only one because I have the time, because I understand money is replaceable. To be quite honest with you, we had this webinar scheduled this morning at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If something came up with my daughter at school where she needed me, I would have canceled it. Right. And to go even further than that, if one of my friends called me and said, hey, get down to the lighthouse, there's fish biting all over the place, we wouldn't have had a webinar at 11 o'clock. I hate to sound like a jerk and I hate to sound irresponsible, but the bottom line is time is not replaceable. That bite at the lighthouse at 11 o'clock this morning, which is fake, it didn't happen, but I'm just saying if it did, that bite at the lighthouse at 9 o'clock, at 11 o'clock this morning, that may never happen again. It probably will. But that experience it comes along once every few years, whatever it is. I can always make money. That's not an issue. The time is what I value and what is what you should value as well. So anytime you can replace, you can trade money for time, not time for money, but money for time. That's really the situation that you want to be in. And that's what we're offering you here. You could spend years of your life trying to master this stuff. You can go out and take every sales training course in the world. You can go out and make 10,000 dials on the phone, send out 100,000 emails and all that stuff. Try to perfect it yourself. But the bottom line is we have a system here that just flat out works. There's no question about that. That's why we're able to offer a double your money back guarantee if you do what we teach you to do. And we're offering you an opportunity here to trade a little bit of money to save you a ton of time and cut out all of the mistakes. So you just know what the perfect process is and you just follow it. It's as simple as that. So if you don't sign up immediately, you probably believe that you won't be able to provide the results. Well, my team's going to do that all for you, so you don't have to worry about that. The results are done for you, okay? We don't want you providing results. We don't want you out there giving, Google review platforms to people. We don't want you out there teaching people how to get reviews or teaching them what to say to their none of that stuff. Your job is literally to fill out an onboarding form. That's it. And we show you how to do that. It's very, very simple. We provide the results for you. My team must do that, okay, because they're really good at it. You're probably worried that you won't be able to get clients. Well, we close every deal for you, okay? If you're one of the first 10 people for both of those. If you're out of the first 10, then we don't do that because we can't do it for everybody. But if you're one of the first 10 people, we will close every deal for you. And again, we don't want you out there closing the deals. We don't, because you're probably going to screw it up. I'm sorry, but I'm just being upfront and honest with you. You're probably going to screw it up at some point. And that's a good learning process for you. But the bottom line is we're here to make money and learn along the way. And the best way to do that is just let our people do it because they're really, really good at doing it. Okay, so if you're one of the first 10 people, we close every deal for you, and we provide all the results for you and all that stuff. So you don't have to worry about either one of those two. You might think it's too expensive, but the bottom line, that's a mindset issue, not a finance issue. That's just where are you going to put the money? The money's going to come back to you no matter what you do. No matter what it is, that money's going to come back to you. That $500 that you spend on this program today is not going to be gone forever. That's going to come back to you, whether it's a paycheck, whether it's a check from the government and a social security thing, or whether it's a whatever it is, that money's going to come back to you no matter what you do. If I could change that, I would, to be honest with you, right? Because I don't like the fact that, all you got to do is fill out 3 pieces of paper, submit it to your local government, you're on welfare for the rest of your life. I don't like that. But the bottom line is that's the way it works, right? So if you're in that position, that money's going to come back to you no matter what. If you're on Social Security, that money's going to come back to you no matter what. If you have a job 9 to 5, that money's going to come back to you no matter what. It doesn't matter. Okay. The only thing is that, are you going to think like a 99%er and you're going to spend it on something that's going to just depreciate, or you're going to think like a 1%er and you're going to invest it in something that's going to change your life forever? That's it. It's not about whether you have it or not. Everybody has it. When I was 15 years old, I didn't have a suit to go to my first job. I sold my bike for $325, I think it was, $300, whatever it was. When my mom took me to Macy's, when I bought my first suit, I wore the same suit every single day. I bought different shirts, but I wore the same suit every day, cleaned it on the weekends. It's not that I didn't sit there and say, oh, I don't know where I'm going to get $300. I did what I had to do to get it together, because I knew that was a life-changing experience. Okay. And that was actually my second job. My first job was at, I was selling cell phones over the telephone. That was when I first worked at Stratton. I had to get a suit to work there, and I was wearing my communion suit or confirmation suit, whatever it was. The thing was like halfway up my arm. I wore that for the first 3 days, and everyone was making fun of me. So I went out and sold my bike, GT Performer, lime green, greatest thing in the world. Sold it, went out, bought a suit, wore the same thing. The real problem is that you don't stick with anything. That's the bottom line. The real problem is that you get stuck in that make money online problem, that trap that we have, where you buy something, you try to set it up, you don't do anything, you don't see any result, you're not making money right away, and you don't stick with it. You buy something else and you just keep going in that cycle, that vicious cycle that literally everybody gets stuck in at one point or another. And that's why bonus number 3, we're offering 6 months of mentoring, $3,000 value with me. That's for the first 10 people as well. And this is going to get you to stick with this program. Okay. Because again, this program is built on basic business principles. It's built the same way that Ford was built, and Walmart was built, and Uber was built, and Groupon was built, and Amazon was built, and Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and Apple and Gateway and Microsoft and Hewlett Packard and all these big companies. You know, some are still around, some aren't still around. But the bottom line is, business is done the same way, no matter what it is that you're selling, no matter what it is that you're doing. And if you're using a proven process like we have here, that is proven over centuries, you're going to be successful with it. Okay. So we're going to offer you 6 months of mentoring as well. That's for the first 10 people. It's $2,000, a $3,000 value. But what if we just made it free for everybody? A lot of people that already invested, I know there's a whole bunch of people that already invested in the program, are probably saying to yourselves, why didn't you just say that before? Right? Well, you're going to get this as well. So for the first 5 people that invest today, we have a level 1 referral program. Here's how it works. It's $1,000 value. Here's how it works. Very, very simple. You refer 2 of your friends or whoever to this program, and this program is free for life for you. Okay. You refer 2 people. It's only 1 level. So it's not like there's, you refer 2 friends, they refer 2 friends. It's not like an Amway thing. You just refer 2 friends to this program. They invest in the program, and the program is free for you forever. So 2 friends, using easy numbers. I know it's $497, but whatever. You refer 2 friends, that's a total of $1,000, right? You invested $500 to get into the training program. You're going to get half of the 1,000, which equals $500, and the program is free for you forever. Now, other people in the make money online space. You do, maybe more than 2, and you can refer as many people as you want, by the way, but 2 is what breaks you even. And this is one of the first things you're going to see when you get in there, because we want people to be profitable right away. So number 1, more than 2 people, but all you need is 2. And if you get 2, this program is free for you for life. This is a huge deal. We've had people come in here on a Tuesday and have their money back by Thursday. Okay. And anybody can do it. Scott has a great training program on how to do this. Even if you make the excuse of not knowing anybody, which all of you do, but even if you try to make that excuse, we'll still teach you how to do this cold and bring people in. And I do all the selling for you on this, by the way. All you have to do is refer people to me. I'll get on the phone with them and sell them this program over the telephone with you on a 3-way call. You have a link to my calendar in the members area. You schedule an appointment with me. I get on the phone with them, and we close them on a 3-way phone call. 6 weeks of intensive training, $1,000 value. Hiring your training people is what you're going to get. Hiring and training people, hiring and training your salespeople, $500 value. Call center script, the step-by-step process. We fulfill every deal for you. We close every deal for you. Done for you sales, done for you fulfillment. That's a $4,000 value total. 6 months of mentoring, $3,000 value. Level 1 referral program, $1,000 value. Total value, $10,976. You click the button on the side of the screen, or you can go to kennycountysuccess.com/discount. Special offer today is $500. If you are willing to give the testimonial when you're successful with this, We're giving you the $500 discount, $497 today. And then $97 per month after 60 days, though. The first 60 days are free. That covers the fulfillment and the sales. We close every deal for you. We fulfill every deal for you if you're one of the first 10 people. And that is $97 per month. But again, the first 60 days are free of charge. And every 10 accounts selling for $97 a piece is worth $970 to you. So I'm going to pause for a second here and take some questions that are coming in. And then sneak peek. We're going to get into part number 2, how to close 80% of your prospects on the very first call. Will this work in insert country that I live in here? Because a lot of people are asking that. Yes. As long as your country has Google. In other words, as long as you don't live in North Korea for now, probably fixing that problem pretty soon. But yeah, it works anywhere in the world. How many 10 account batches can we do per month? As many as you'd like, Max. And again, unlike other people out there, not naming anybody, but unlike other people, we don't charge you $97 a month for the first 10 and then, raise that by 10,000% when you go to buy more. We don't do that. So it's going to be $97 a month for 10 accounts. And again, if you're up to 100 accounts, well, then maybe we can lower that price for you. Now, that's how business works. Some people don't understand this, but that's how, or actually one person that's probably here doesn't understand this. That's how business works. The more you buy, the less you pay. It's not the more you buy, the more you pay. So if you go out and you want 100 accounts or 200 accounts or 300 accounts or whatever, we could probably do something with you on the price for that. But I can promise you again that price won't go up. Right. If I understand this correctly, we give away free trials. You take it from there, and we pay you $97 per month for every 10 accounts. We get $970 per month for every 10 clients. Richard, that is pretty much nailing it. You could probably do the webinar for me next time if you want. Yeah, that's pretty much perfect. The one thing that I would say about that, though, and this is not really too important, but the $970 per month, we suggest $97 a month. You can sell it for whatever you want. Number one. And number two, you don't have to give away a free trial. You can charge whatever they're your customers. So you can charge whatever you want. You take the payment. So you can do whatever you want when it comes to that. So Richard, yes, you nailed it, but just understand that those are suggestions from us. All right. So $97 a month equals $970 if you give away the free trial, and then you sell it at $97, or we close it for you at $97 per month. You want to close it at $197, $297, $597? That's fine. I mean, a good buddy of mine I've been working with for a long, long time. You'll see him in all the Q&As. You'll see him in the Facebook group. His name is Mo Deeps. Good kid. He has one client at $500 a month. Okay. Awesome. Right? Whatever. So it is what it is. I mean, you can charge whatever you want. What exactly do I do to set up Cassandra? Nothing. Literally nothing. You can, if you have a website and you want to go crazy, you can use a WordPress theme that we have. I got it created. I don't know why I ever did that, but I did. I know why I did it, but I really can't say why I did it. It was a stupid decision. But I have we have a WordPress theme that's in the members area. If you have a WordPress website, you can use that. If you need a page with a button on it so that they can sign up for a free trial, that's really all you have to do to set it up. The rest of it is actually doing business, Cassandra, which I know it might be hard for a lot of people in here to understand. No offense to you. It's not your fault either. A lot of people have been teaching you stuff that just is not valid. But business is, we're going to be getting in front of prospects. We're going to be telling them what we have. It's going to be prospect, pitch, close, provide, preserve. Now, luckily for you, you don't have to do most of those because we do the selling for you and we do the fulfillment for you. So we're going to be getting in front of prospects in a number of different ways, using Power Bases, using emails, using telephone, using Facebook, whatever. There's a number of different ways we can do it. And we go through all of them. We have a brand new method called the Chambered method, which is absolutely amazing. You can get like 500 qualified leads that just let you in there's like no resistance whatsoever. And that's a brand new method that we just started using, and our members are absolutely loving it. So we'll show you that as well. But it's real business. It's real business. It's not playing around on the internet. That doesn't work. And I'm sure a lot of you understand that by now. All right. For those of you who are asking, first of all, thank you for all of you who have invested in the program. I see a lot of people that are in no brainer. Yes, I agree. How long before we start seeing income from the 497 investment? It depends on what you're about to do, man. Today, it's Monday at 11 o'clock in the 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You can get free trials today. Now, you can refer 2 people back to this today. You can have your money back. You could refer 4 people back to this today and double your investment. You can have 10 free trials this afternoon. I can. I know that for a fact. I can. You can as well. So literally, if you want to do it today, you can. If you want to do it by the end of 6 months from now, you could do that too. It depends on what you do, right? So you have to get out there and you have to follow the program. You're going to hear my watch go off here in the background. Sorry about that. So for all of you who are asking if you are in the top 10 to get the done for you fulfillment and done for you sales, if you see that listed on the page that you're on, it's there. Okay. Again, unlike some other people out there, what we promise in a webinar, we actually deliver. Some people don't do that. I'm not going to mention any names, one person in particular, but if we promise you something in a webinar, we are going to give it to you. If it's listed on the page, it's yours. So if you see it there, you're going to get it. All right. All right. So for all the people, there's a lot of people on here, and I'm not going to mention all the names, but for all the people that have joined today, thank you very much. Graham, Peter, Richard, Max, Robert, Allen, Bert, Frank, I believe Frank is in. Yeah. Cassandra, maybe. When do we get leads? I'm gonna go into that. Part number 2, man. Gotta hang out for the ending. Part number 2 is all about the leads. We're gonna talk about that. Thank you, Graham. Thank you, Mark. Just addressing the people that are writing up top here. Not many questions, which is good. I guess I did a good job. Did a good job explaining everything. You might have questions about this part. By the way, too, just so you guys know, if anybody wants to challenge me on this, I will gladly open up anyone's microphone and you can tell me how wrong I am. But be prepared to defend yourself because you're going to have to. So here's the deal. Before I get started with this, how many people believe this is possible? 80% of my prospects on the first contact. How many people believe that you can close 80% of the people that you talk to on the first time you talk to them? Whether it's an email, whether it's a face-to-face thing, whether it's a telephone, that doesn't matter. Let's get the medium out of the question, right? So ignore that for now. It could be an email, it could be face-to-face, it could be a meeting, it could be a telephone call, it could be someone you just ran into in the street, whatever. How many people believe it's possible to close 80% of the people that you talk to? Hang out you guys could keep typing the questions in. I'm not going to answer them right now, though. I'm going to wait till the end. So I'm going to go through part 2. I'm going to get to every question that's asked. So don't freak out about that. But just understand, I'm going to pause on the questions for now, and I'm going to focus on this. So 80% close rate. Forget about the product. Product doesn't matter. Forget about giving away Google reviews. Forget about a free trial. This could be a car, could be a house, could be a mortgage, could be plumbing stuff, could be a driveway, roofing, tree trimming, SEO, web design, crack cocaine on the corner of the street in Harlem. It doesn't matter what it is. If you think it's not possible, I want you to put a 1 in the chat box. If you think it's not possible, I'm not going to open your microphone right away. I'll ask you, and I'll if that's only if you're comfortable doing that. But if you think it's not possible to close 80% of your prospects on the very first contact, I want you to type a 1 in the chat box. CS, if you'd like to purchase but you're not sure how, you can click on the button on the side of the screen, and you can just click on the button that says Add to Cart. It's a Warrior Plus button. Sorry, buddy. I don't mean to be a jerk, but just click on the button and follow the prompts. All right, so Peter says it's hard to believe. Oh, no, actually, Richard says it's hard to believe. Peter put a 1, meaning that he doesn't believe it. Okay, cool. I like that because it's honesty, right? Let's be honest and let's hash it out because I want you guys all to be on the same page here. And I want you to see how possible, not only possible, how likely this is if you actually know how to sell stuff and you actually know how to prospect. So first of all, let's separate the two, right? There are 5 core pillars of business, not counting an idea. That's number 6. But usually when people come to me, they already have the idea. The 5 core pillars of business are prospect, number 1, pitch, number 2, close, number 3, provide, number 4, and preserve, number 5. So we find an audience, we pitch it to them, we close the deal. That includes following up with them. We give them what we promised, and then we preserve the relationship that we built. If any of those 5 things fall apart, our business falls apart, right? The most important, these are in order of importance. So prospecting is the most important thing you're ever going to do in any business that you're ever in. Presenting the offer effectively is the second most important thing. Closing and following up is the third most important thing. Providing and preserving are a way distant last, like down the line. A lot of people will say, "Oh, I want to focus on customer support." Well, you don't have anyone to support. So what are you going to focus on? You got to acquire. Acquisition is the most important thing. All right. So let's go through it. How to close 80% of your prospects on the very first contact. And if anybody wants to come on and challenge me on this, you're more than welcome. So number 1, I went through this a little bit. I was dropping hints here as we were going through the call there. Want, need, and desire. I had a guy who has absolutely no clue what the hell he's doing question me on this, and he wouldn't listen to me. He was just yelling and screaming the whole time because he knew he was wrong. But the bottom line is you have to make sure that your prospect knows that they already need what you're selling. Okay? Make sure your prospect already wants what it is that you're selling. How do you do that? Well, you're selling cars, right? Somebody drives up to the car dealership. Their bumper's falling off. It's held on by duct tape. They have no seat belts in the car. Radio doesn't work, and there's smoke coming out of the hood. Do you think they want, need, and desire a new car? Let's break it down. Would they be at a dealership if they didn't want, need, and desire a new car? Probably not, right? If they're driving in an old beat-up car that's barely running, do they want, need, or desire a new car? Probably, right? If they feel like they're going to die in the car that they're in, do they probably want, need, and desire a new car? Yes. Now, does this mean that someone's going to walk in with a shirt that says, "I want to buy a car from you today"? No, it doesn't. But we can do a little bit of investigative work to tell if they want, need, and desire what it is that we're offering. Okay? We only want to talk to people who already know they need what it is that we are selling. That is vital, and you have to write that down. If you don't do that, you're going to be wasting a ton of your time. Okay? So, with the Google review thing, that's what I was talking about before. Someone was asking, do we sell this to 5-star people or 3-star people? I said, the answer is you can sell it to both, but the bottom line is there's low-hanging fruit and there's people that are a little bit harder to close, right? The first people we want to go to are the people who want, need, and desire what it is that we're selling, which in this instance are going to be the people that have the 3-star reviews or the 2-star reviews, right? Does the 5-star guy need it as well? Yes, but is he going to know it as much as the 3-star guy? No. There's levels of want, need, and desire, right? The 3-star guy knows he has 3 stars on Google. He knows whether he's going to admit it or not. He knows. Okay. So they have a really strong want, need, and desire for what it is they're offering. Does that mean they're going to buy from you? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. This is where SEO falls way short. Okay. Just because somebody wants, needs, and desires what it is you're selling does not mean that they're going to buy it from you. There's a lot of other things that come into play, such as number 2. You should be writing all this down, by the way. This is like the best stuff you're ever going to learn in your life. If you can master these 5 things I'm going to go over here, your life's going to change forever. You can sell anything to anybody as long as they're a qualified prospect. And I'm going to teach you exactly how to do it right here. They also have to have authority to say yes or no right now. What does that mean? A 12-year-old kid could really want a motorcycle. They can't buy a motorcycle, right? Someone with no arms and no legs who's blind would really want a boat, maybe. They can't buy a boat, right? Somebody who your client's secretary might really want the Google review thing. She can't sign up for it. She's the secretary at the place, right? If you're, let's say you're a life insurance salesman, right? Or you're a mortgage guy or a real estate guy. That's a husband and wife decision. right? Life insurance, mortgage, real estate. That's why highly trained life insurance agents will call somebody up and they'll say, when's a good time to meet with you and your wife, you and your husband? Because they know that in order to close the deal, authority needs to be established. They were trained this way. They understand that. That's why when highly trained salespeople, whether they're selling web design, SEO, or whatever it is, when they call Joe and John's pizza place, they say, when is a good time to meet with you and John? Because they know authority needs to be established. You can't sell one partner, right? That's why when people come to me and they say, oh, I'm following your script, but I keep coming up with the objection where my partner is away. That's not a sales issue. It's a prospecting issue. They're not a qualified prospect. You have to get them when both of them are there in order to talk to them. If you're talking to one, you're wasting your time. That leads me to number 3, which is ability. They have to have the ability to pay you. So we have want, need, and desire. They already know they want, need, and desire what it is that you are offering. Number 2, they have the authority to say yes or no to you right now. And number 3, they have the ability to pay you. If you're selling SEO, that's $5,000 a month to your local pizza place, you are an idiot. I'm sorry, there's just no other way to put it. If you are selling $5,000 packages to a pizza place, you're a moron. They can't afford it. Okay? Don't come to me and say they keep telling me they don't have the money. They don't have the money. I don't know what to tell you. You're not prospecting the right way. They don't have the money. If you have a $5,000 package and you're selling it to a $100 million company, okay, now we're on to something, right? And they already know they want, need, or desire it. And you're talking to someone who can say yes or no right now. And they make $100 million a year, and you have a $5,000 a month package. Now we're working with something. That's a qualified prospect. Okay. There's a number of different ways you can look at this. If you're selling something that has credit to do with it, right? You're selling a mortgage, you're selling a car, whatever it is. Ability can mean they need to have a certain credit score, right? You're selling something online. Ability can mean they have to have a PayPal account in order to make a purchase, right? If you're selling something on Amazon, right? Let's say you do an e-commerce thing. They have to have an Amazon account, right? I think to make a purchase on Amazon, you have an Amazon account, I think, right? So ability can mean a number of different things. But the bottom line is, if they don't have the money to pay you, don't talk to them. Don't talk to them if they can't pay you, okay? But that's the beauty of what we do here. One of them is that, number 1, it's a free trial. Number 2, even after the free trial, we recommend $97 a month. And $97 a month, you can literally sell this to any business in the world, all right? All you have to do is focus on who the decision maker is. Because did we establish with what we have, the data that we have and everything else, that want, need, and desire is there for pretty much every business in the world? I think we have, right? All we need to do now is find out who the decision maker is, get that person on the phone so we can establish authority. Ability is already there at the free trial. And even after that's $97 a month. Every business in the world can afford $97 a month. I don't care what they do. If they can't afford $97 a month to get reviews on the biggest search engine in the world, well, then they're probably going to go out of business shortly anyway, so it really doesn't matter. All right. Next, there are 2 reasons why people buy stuff. I just gave you a hint on one of them. It's experience. So we're going to cheat on that one a little bit. 2 reasons why people buy stuff. And there are only 2 reasons. I want you guys to type in the chat box what you believe those 2 reasons are. I already told you experience is one of them. So I showed it by accident. But there are 2 reasons why people buy stuff. Experience is one. What is the other one? I want you to type in the chat box there, and I'm going to tell you who's right and who's wrong. Avoid pain. Sounds like my first beater. Your car, yeah. That's true. And listen, Cassandra, you bring up a good point, because those 3 boxes for you weren't checked off. You might have wanted a new car, a brand new car, right? But you took the old beat up car because maybe you didn't have the ability to buy a new car, right? At that point. So even though you wanted a new car, you didn't have the ability to do it, or maybe you were too young to do it, or whatever. Well, whatever it was, there was something else that stopped you from doing it. The want, need, desire wasn't it. Want, need, desire is an issue sometimes, though. No matter how good of a salesperson you are, if someone drives into a car dealership with a window sticker on a car they just bought next door, you're not selling that guy a new car. It's not going to happen. There's no want, need, desire there. Avoid pain, feel good factor. Okay, let's go through it. Ready? Here we go. 2 reasons why people buy stuff. The only 2 reasons. Number 1, experience. And number 2, status. That is it. I don't care if you're buying a pack of gum, if you're buying a house, if you're buying a TV, if you're buying a gym membership, it doesn't matter. The only reason why people buy stuff is to make themselves, number 1, have a better experience in life in some way, shape, or form. And number 2, increase the status within their group that they're trying to increase it in. Okay, so very simple example. Somebody walks into the office in the morning, right? Your job, whatever it is. They have a very important meeting that day. They walk into the office, they put down a cup of coffee on their desk, and it says Shell gas station on the coffee. That's one example. The other example is that same person walks into the same meeting and they have a Starbucks cup of coffee. Who is taken more seriously in that meeting? The answer is the Starbucks guy. Why? He buys the coffee. It's shitty coffee. I don't like it. Some people do. But he buys it for the coffee. But he buys it because he understands that it's going to increase his status in the peer group he's looking to increase it in. Most people will buy a MacBook Pro and they'll use about 10% of the MacBook Pro's capacity because they want to go into Starbucks and open it up and show the little Apple logo on the back of their computer because they think it looks cool. That increases their status and experience. Okay. People buy a new car because it increases their status and experience. People do not buy a BMW because they just want to buy a BMW. They buy a BMW when they get their raise because it's more comfortable to drive than the Honda Accord that they're used to. And equally, and sometimes even more important, they buy that BMW because of what people in the office are going to think about them and their neighbor and their wife and their husband and whoever else. Right here is why social media is so freaking explosive. That's why it literally took over all of our lives. Experience and status. People go on social media and they post one of 2 things. And you can go and look, read anybody's feed. It's one of 2 things. It's either I am having the greatest time of my life or I am suicidal. That's pretty much social media, right? It's either you're getting the worst thing in the world and people are trying to get sympathy, or you're getting the best thing in the world and people are bragging and everyone's like, oh, you're the most amazing thing in the world. This is why social media works, because it plays on these 2 things. This is why Apple works. It plays on these 2 things. This is why Amazon works. It plays on these 2 things. This is why everything in the world is bought and sold, because people believe it's going to increase their status and or experience in life. I want you to think about this logically, and this is where I ask people to challenge me, so get ready. You could throw any rebuttal or any objection you want out at me. You could either do it over a microphone or you could write it in the chat box. It's completely up to you. The person I am speaking with already knows they need the product or service that you are buying. They already know they need it. Okay. And just so you know, there are some people out there that have no idea what they're doing and can't sell anything to anybody ever that will tell you that this is impossible. They're wrong. They're either wrong or they're lying. I think they're wrong. And I could prove it to you over and over and over again. But the person that you're talking to already knows they need your product or service. Number 2, they already have the money to pay you. Number 3, they are a decision maker. Number 4, the product and or service makes their life better and or easier. In other words, increasing their experience in life. Number 3, the product and or service makes them more valuable and or increases their status in the peer group that they're in. Now, give me a reason why that person would say no to you. Okay. All of these things are true. This is a qualified prospect. Top 3, qualified prospect. Bottom 2, good presentation. Okay. So this is prospecting and presenting in one. Prospect, pitch, close, provide, preserve. This is prospecting, top 3. Presenting, bottom 2. You nail these 5 things, and I want you to give me a reason why they would say no. I'm going to look in the chat box here just for some reasons in a second. And by the way, guys, we still have some bonus packages available. Done for you sales, done for you fulfillment. You click the button on the side of the screen. You can go to kennycanonsuccess.com/discount to get involved if you want to learn about this, what's on your screen right now, and so much more. And also done for you for fulfillment and done for you sales. Peter loves my fishing metaphor about moving on if they don't bite. Yeah, the fish aren't there, man. If you make 5 casts, well, I'm talking about saltwater fishing from the beach. If you make 5 casts with a bucktail and you're fresh for striped bass and you're not getting a bite, you got to move. I mean, they're not there. I see people all the time. They'll go out, and I'm waiting for objections here. Why would they say no? So while I'm talking to Peter about fishing, you can go ahead and give me objections why they would say no. But they already want the product or service. They already have the money for it. They're a decision maker. You've proven to them through a good presentation that the product makes their life better or easier. You've proven to them that it makes them more valuable. Anyone in here right now can give me any objection as to why that person would say no. You can go ahead and do it. I'm going to overcome it very easily. And it's probably going to embarrass you a little bit, but I'll keep your name. I won't say what your name is. So we'll keep it between me and you. I'll just read the objection out and then overcome it for you. But yeah, I see so many people, Peter. I watch this every night. They'll go out and they'll put like a bunker chunk on something or a clam belly or whatever. They'll throw it as far as they can out. They'll sit there for 20 minutes. They won't get a bite. Reel it all the way in, change the bait. Throw it as far out as they can. Sit there for 20 minutes. Nothing. Reel it in, change the bait. Throw it as far out as they can. And I'm like, dude, throw it a little bit to your left. Throw it a little bit to your right. Throw it a little shorter. Reel it in a little bit. Move down the beach 50. There's no fish where you're throwing it. You're throwing it in the same spot every time. What the hell are you doing? And I think one of the reasons why I love to fish so much is because, or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe one of the reasons why I love to sell so much and prospect so much is because it's the same thing as what I do in my true passion, which is fishing. Got to find the right bait. Got to find the fish, right? It's really the same thing. And you cast and you cast and you cast together. Every once in a while, you hook one, and then you got to fight it. You got to bring it in, right? So it's the same thing. There is several different prices. Which one do I order? Is that an objection to what I'm talking about, or is that a question that you're trying to ask me? I don't know the difference. I don't know if you guys are thinking of objections here, but there really isn't any. So I don't know. Like if you're thinking, don't think too hard, because there are no objections here. There's no way that somebody could say no. And if you have some, you can let me know. But there aren't any. All right, so this is exactly how we close up to 80% of our prospects on the very first contact. So maybe you feel like you won't be able to prospect or sell. Bonus number 6, bi-weekly Q&A sessions plus a Facebook group that is very active. And we have a Q&A session coming up this Monday, which I am going to be doing live cold calling in. Live cold call. You get to listen. I don't know, and nobody does that. I'm going to do live cold calling with you on the Q&A session coming up this Monday, a week from today, 11 a.m. Do it at the same time. And that is for everyone who invests live. And we do them every other week. Plus, you get our Facebook group, which is freaking awesome. 6 weeks of intensive training, $997 value. Hiring and training your salespeople, $500 value. Call center script, $500. Step-by-step process, $1,000. We fulfill every deal for you. We close every deal for you. Done for you fulfillment, done for you sales. $4,000 value there. 6 months of mentoring, $3,000 value. Bi-weekly Q&A sessions for life. And I am going to be cold calling in the next one coming up. And I'm going to be doing that more often as we get going with it. Plus, we have a Facebook group as well. We've been doing the Q&A sessions. All the replays are in the membership area, by the way. If you go in the membership area, you log in, you go all the way down to the bottom, and it says Q&A replays. You can listen to all of them that we've ever done. But this upcoming Monday, a week from today, we're actually going to be doing live cold calling in the Q&A session, which is going to be fun. Level 1 referral program. Get your money back within 24 hours. Refer 2 people. Get on my calendar. I will close them over the telephone with you in a 3-way call. We've done that for everybody that's joined, and we've literally, I think we closed everyone we talked to so far. We might have lost like 1 or 2 people, but we're really, really good at that. There's a little bit of a process to it. You got to make sure you follow the process and warm them up a little bit. And we have like videos that you send people and stuff before they get on the phone with me. But if you do it the right way, we literally close like almost everyone that we talk to. It's pretty crazy. Total value, $11,973. There's the link, kennycanonsuccess.com/discount, $500 today, and then $97 per month after 60 days. 60 days is free. We close the deals that come in for you, and we fulfill up to 10 accounts worth $970. We never raise prices on that either, and there is an opportunity maybe later on. I can't promise it because there's other people involved, but if you buy a lot of accounts, we may be able to do something on that price. But for now, $97 per month for 10 accounts. And that price does not, you buy 100 accounts, it's going to be $970. Just that simple. And that's going to be $9,700 to you, right? Very easy. We don't raise prices. Okay, so if you guys have any other questions, comments, concerns, you can let me know. It seems like the sales training alone is worth 1,000 times without everything else. Yes, that is actually true, Mark. This is the best sales training you're ever going to get in your life. But forget about the Google review thing. You can, what I teach you here when it comes to selling, you use anything. I mean, you can sell houses, cars, mouse pads, computers, microphones, coffee mugs, whatever you want. Doesn't matter. It's all the same. The product never matters. It's the process that matters. From your experience, what's the best email outreach approach? Concerned potential customer or service provider offering them a solution. From your, let me try to read that again. I got confused there for a second. From your experience, what is the best email outreach approach? Concerned potential customer or service provider offering them a solution. I think it depends on the industry that you're emailing, because I do both, to be honest with you. I have a 12-part email sequence that starts off with, are you the right person? And then it moves on through there. And I also have an email sequence that starts off with, which one would you choose? Right? So that's kind of like the potential customer one. And the other one is the service provider. So I use both. And it really depends. If I'm going after a Chinese restaurant, I'm going to go, which one would you choose? If I'm going after a pizza place, which one would you choose? If I'm going after a nail salon, which one would you choose? If I'm going after a lawyer, service provider offering a solution. And the way that I approach that is, are you the right person that handles this? And the response that I'm going to get back usually, either no response and we continue on with the follow-up sequence, or it's going to be, yes, I am. Then I call the person and start talking to him. Or it's going to be, no, talk to Jim. And then I contact Jim. Are you the right person to do this? Yes, call him, pitch him. No, talk to Bob, email Bob. Are you the right person that deals with this? Yes, call him, pitch him. No, and it just kind of works through that way. Is this completely different to the breakthrough? And does this program come with website email sequences for cold and warm leads? It comes with a WordPress theme. Please, Val, like if you're buying this program to build websites, don't buy it because you're going to be really disappointed. I'm just being honest with you. Like, I'm going to tell you to install a theme on WordPress, and it's going to be a headline with a button, and that's going to be your website. I'm not like, you don't need, if you're going to get like fancy with the website stuff, it's not a program for you. Really. I mean, look at the highest valued website in the world. Go ahead and look at it. Tell me what it looks like. It's a box with a button and a logo on it. It's called Google, right? So you don't need any of that stuff. It's a waste of time. I mean, you could spend months building a website, and you can go on 99 Designs and get a logo design and do all that stuff, but you don't need it. You just don't. Kenny would love to talk a little bit about the tool. I've watched all the video trainings, but don't have a clear idea about it. Lou, it's very simple. Wait, hold on a second. I just want to make sure you don't have any other questions in here that I have to answer first, because you have a 3 next to it, which makes me think that's the third part of the thing, but maybe not. Anyway, it's very simple. You fill out a form. It's an onboarding form, and it tells us all we need to know about the potential client. My team calls the client up and gets them all set up. We install a link on their computer. That link then leads their customers to a Google review, a review platform. The review platform then separates out bad reviews from good reviews. That is not a Google review. That is an internal review. That's very important, by the way. We have an internal review first. If the person leaves a 4 or 5-star review in our internal review, then we lead them to Google to leave the Google review. If they leave an internal review of 3 stars or below, we don't lead them to Google because they're going to leave us a bad review. And then we handle that internally. So it's a link on their computer. Your customer has to ask for either a phone number or an email. And that's it. That's the whole thing. And we also have campaigns where they can email it. If they have a database, we can email out that database and get reviews coming in right away for them. From your experience, what is the? Oh, I answered that already. I have to get money from another account. That might take a few days. Will I miss out? Like I said, the bonuses are limited to the number of people, so I can't give you a firm yes or no on that one. It seems like sales training is worth thousands without anything else. It is. I charge $1,000 for appointment machine to individuals, and I charge, depending on how many salespeople I have to train. Appointment machine, for me to go into a company and train on appointments, 25 salespeople, I'm going to be about 15 grand. But, it's a little bit more in depth than what you're getting here. I'm not going to mislead you, like that. But I'm working individually at each one of them. I'm listening to every one of their calls for a whole entire day. I mean, it's more than just they all get custom pitches. It's more than just the stock appointment machine thing that I'm giving you guys. But it's the same process. I'm just working one-on-one with people, and I'm not really doing that here. Do you have a video or something that you can email on LinkedIn? Don't use LinkedIn too much, to be honest with you, but we use other platforms like Facebook and all that stuff. So yeah, we have a lot of that, actually. We have videos that do a quick demo of the program, of the software that we use. We have videos that do a quick overview of why they should do the 30-day trial, which is me doing that. It's unbranded. All I do is say my name because I kind of have to do that in front of a video. But we have a lot of that stuff that you can use to send out. I don't use LinkedIn personally. There are people in the group that do, but I just don't personally do that. So I'm not going to tell you yes or no on that. But we use it on Facebook and all that, and it works great. So yeah, you can do that. We also use it in our email sequences as well. We'll cold email somebody a video, and that's fine. Did you say Earl? Where do I get the info? Oh, okay. So if you log in, Earl, to the membership area inside of ClickFunnels, you should get led right to that. You go in there, you go all the way down to the bottom. I'm actually in it right now, so I'm going to give you the exact name of the section that you want to go to. It's called Getting Referrals. Make $248 per sale starting today. It's the last section right underneath live Q&A replays and marketing resources. So if you go there, that's where you're going to see all that. To start out, I'd have a partner with a friend to do this. Is that okay? Can two people be on one account where one of them gets the payments? Sure. We don't discourage people like some other people from hiring other people and helping you. Some people do that. We think that's stupid. So you can get as many people as you want. I mean, we have a lot of people in our group that have 3 or 4 people that are working together on a deal that they're trying to do. And there's no problem with that at all. We actually encourage it. I'm going to teach you how to hire people to help you. I'm going to teach you how to get lead generators for you. I'm going to teach. I don't discourage that. Some people do, and they're betting on you to fail. I don't. I bet on you to succeed. I want to see you win. So I'm going to show you how to hire the right people and how to train them the right way. And your partner is more than welcome on any of our in Facebook group on the Q&A. You just got to let me know who he is, so I know, or she. So I know to make sure to get them in. But yeah, that's not a problem at all. We actually encourage it. Love the no-nonsense approach. Too many people get stuck on the small stuff. Mark, I agree 1,000%. Love the simplicity, Val says. Yeah. Me too. It works. Simple works. It really does. Simple works. And I can give you guys so many examples of that. I'm not going to bore you with it. But it does. I was telling my hockey team, I was just reading a text message here for a second. Sorry. I was telling my hockey team the other day, we were out of practice last weekend, I think it was. And we've been having a little trouble. My goalie was really not hurt, but he was sick. He had a really bad asthma attack, and he couldn't get air to his right lung for like a week. It was pretty scary there for a minute. And we were having trouble because we lost our goalie, and it was just the season was kind of shot after he went down. And I was telling him, man, I was like, listen, just get back to basics. Just get back to the basics of what you guys know. Stack the front of the net. And you guys might not have no clue what I'm talking about. This is all hockey talk. But I'm telling them, I'm like, stack the front of the net, winger and center in front, winger in the corner, mucking the puck out, get it back to your points, low shots on net, and whack away. That's what I'm telling them to do because they're frustrated. They can't hit the net. They're getting the puck taken away. I'm like, listen, Jam the front of the net, traffic in front, pucks to the net, and pick up the garbage. The goalie leaves a rebound. It hits off someone's shin pad. It hits off someone's skate. Get the dirty goals. Get back to the basics. Dump and chase. Get to the red line, dump it in, chase it in the corner. Win the battle. Put it in front of the net. Maybe it hits off a skate. Maybe somebody's back to the bit. You can get to the fancy stuff later on, but we have to shore up the basics first, right? And it's the same thing with business. It's just, you got it. The basics work. You can make 10, 15, $20 million a year by just basic ass boring shit. Honestly, I mean, I hate to curse like that, but you can. It's true. How about those Winnipeg Jets? No comment, Tim. No comment. If I had to pick two teams, though, Tim, from the West, I'm going to be honest with you. If I had to pick two teams from the West, I like to see the Vegas and the Jets bang it out in the West like that. But I think the Vegas story would be amazing if they won the cup. That would be pretty cool. But Winnipeg too. I mean, what are they? 6 years, 7 years now, right? Since they came back. So it would be nice to see them do it as well. And nice to see the cup go back to Canada as well. I'd like to see that. People who bought this program so far, what's the success rate? 100%. The success rate in this program is 100%. May I start charging $97 up front instead of giving away the first month free? 100%. You can do that as well, Max. Yeah, Winnipeg. Yeah, Tim's from Winnipeg. I can't believe that you guys ever lost the team. Like, I don't know how that happened. Like, I live on Long Island. I'm an Islander fan and a Toronto Maple Leaf fan, so you might hate me for both of them. But, like, I don't know how we kept our team on Long Island. We have like 12,000 people going to the games. And I have no idea how Winnipeg ever lost the Jets in the beginning. I mean, Winnipeg is a hockey town, like pure hockey town. So that's crazy. I've been there quite a few times, and I love it up there. Jerome, yeah, the success rate is 100%. If you do what you're taught, you're going to be a massive success. It's just that simple, right? You may not like doing what I'm telling you to do. You may not like getting out there with your power base when I tell you, hey, next time you go get your hair cut, give your barber a free trial. You may not like that, but if you do it, he's going to take it. You may not like when I tell you next time you go get pizza with your wife or your kids or your girlfriend or whatever, ask the waitress to send the manager over so you can sign them up for a free trial. You may not like doing that, but if you do it, you're going to get a free trial out of it. You may not like Scott was talking about in his video, when I tell you when you go to bring your girlfriend to a massage, ask for the owner and get a free trial signed up when you're paying that person at the register. You may not like doing that stuff. And you may not do it, but if you do it, your success rate is going to be 100%. There's no doubt about it. The only reason why people fail with this and 99.9% of other stuff they try to do is because they don't do it. That's it. You failed. You're a fat slob because you don't go to the gym. Simple as that. You're a fat slob. I'm not saying you in particular. I'm just saying in general. People are overweight because they eat too much and they don't move. As simple as that. It's not that it's not all this doesn't work for me, this doesn't work for them, I don't know about this. No. Get off the couch and walk 3 miles a day. You're going to lose weight. You have to. That's like the way your body is built. If you burn off more calories than you take in, you are going to lose weight. Maybe not 100 pounds in 3 days like they advertise on Facebook, but you're going to lose weight. I'm not saying you're going to walk into this, Jerome, and make $1 million tomorrow afternoon. I'm saying you're not. You're probably not. You're not going to do that. You'll probably never make $1 million a year doing what we're teaching you to do here. Never. With the Google reviews. Learn the sales stuff. You do whatever the hell you want. But with this Google review platform, you'll never make $1 million a year doing this. But I guarantee you right now, if you do what you're taught, and you follow the steps that I teach you to do with the power basin and all that other stuff and the qualified prospects, 10, 15, 20, 30, $40,000 a month is easy to do. It's easy to do with something like this. Not difficult at all, but you got to do it. I've got the best of both worlds. I am from Winnipeg and been living up in Edmonton for 25 years. I spent my youth at the hockey rink and played all my life. Nothing better. It's nothing better, Tim, than the smell of a freshly cut sheet of ice. Zamboni goes off. They shut those doors. Got to wait a minute for it to dry. But there's nothing better. Except maybe the smell of clam bellies on the beach at 2 a.m. I know, Jerome. I know I'm right about that. And it's true. And I'm not being a jerk. It's just the simple fact is that you have to do it. If you do it, you're going to see success with it. If you don't do it, you're not. It's just that simple. All right, guys. So that is it. Those are all the questions that came in. Thank you guys all for hanging with me here for 2.5 hours. I hope you guys got a lot of value out of the training, whether you invested in this program or not. You can go to kennycanningsuccess.com/discount. If it's listed on the sales page, there is, it's still available. Everything that is listed there, everything that is promised in this call will be given to you. No question about it. So if you ever have any problem with that, you can let me know and I'll make sure you get everything you promised. But everything that is promised on this call will be given to you. The $97 per month is what you're going to pay after 60 days for 10 accounts, for 100 accounts, for 1 million accounts. It doesn't matter. That price is the price. And that's what it's going to stay. Again, maybe it'll get lowered as you buy more, but it's never going to go up. How do we get paid by the clients? You charge them money. I'm not being a jerk about that either, Max. I'm just telling you. You're in charge of that. Like I teach you how to do it. You're not all on your own there. I teach you how to do it. But yeah, it's you get paid directly by the client. Kenny Cannon, From Pucks to Hooks. Yeah, there you go, Mark. I like that book title. Maybe I'll write it. Referral section isn't there. Last two options in back office are marketing resources and replay Q&A. It's got to be there. I'm looking at it right now. You see live Q&A replays. You see marketing resources right underneath that. Let me see if maybe I have this on the drip or something for some reason. I don't know why I would. Everyone else is seeing it. Method of payment for your customers are Stripe, PayPal. It could be either one. Method of payment for us is Stripe, but you can use whatever you'd like. You can even use your own merchant account if you'd like to. Completely up to you. All right, guys, so that is it. If you have any other questions, you can let us know. If not, I will see you, the ones who have signed up with us today, I'll see you inside the Facebook group and on our Q&A coming up on Monday. Thanks, guys.